silver-haired changeling.
It did state that he would try to reconvene with you within the coming weeks, and that if there was no word from him within a certain amount of time to return and ask about his location. You went and did some midday shopping and acquired some necessary items.
I remember, what did we buy?
I got night vision goggles with a couple filters on, and he has X-ray vision.
I got something as well, and I don't remember what. Oh, it was Tinker Tools.
Yeah. The special.
God, that was a good shopping trip.
I was so.
I got X-ray specs.
Hearing that, I felt like shit the entire.
But the little ones are not allowed to play with this.
Oh yeah.
The little ones are not allowed to play with this, and swear if you look at me with those. No, I'm just kidding.
You can look at me all you want. You're going to jail.
Smack the shit out of you.
So it's real life.
The shopping trip concluded. You all began to make your way back to Underlook.
Slow jerk.
As you approach the district of Underlook, you found that the main bridge into the district was cordoned off by the city watch. And upon inspection, or a closer look I should say, you begin to notice that the majority of or actually all of the guards that were on this quarantine duty were all warforged.
Are these your brothers?
Upon getting a little bit closer to the barricade, a male city watchman approached you wearing a rather weird apparatus around his neck and face. And he informed you that the district was under quarantine until further notice by order of the city council, as a matter of public health and safety. He did state that if you had any concerns to take it up with the council, and he just seemed rather dismissive of not only you but of the situation as a whole.
Didn't want to even be there.
Didn't really want to be there. Definitely had that, that attitude of this is below me. I should be doing better things, or I could be doing better things. But instead, he was stuck there, and that is about where we left off. So you all find yourself standing on this large bridge, probably 300 or 400 feet across, has its own row of buildings along the walls of the bridge.
I thought we ended the evening actually at a tavern.
Nick, I can't get power on this thing. Do you know if it's on?
It's on right now because the green light's on.
It's on because it's powering this monitor.
It's also powering my GoPro over there.
Continue, sorry.
I'm sort of in the same boat as Wayne. I don't really remember if we ended in the tavern.
We did.
Because
we left the bridge to go to a tavern.
Okay.
For the evening.
Okay.
We end up looking for a Gold Dragon Inn, and we bunker down for the rest of the night and try to make a plan for what to do tomorrow. That's what I wrote.
You found just a Golden Dragon Inn.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about the night, but the intent was we were at a table discussing how to break into the district. Whether I don't believe a long rest has been talked about because I don't think resources have been expended a whole lot for the group.
Yes.
Wasn't I supposed to be getting attempting to get information from someone here?
Potentially.
I was say because
I don't think it fully been discussed. However.
Well, I thought you and I had said a comment about like.
Well, I was gonna say we have a telepathic connection technically.
Is that still going on though?
Yeah, it was for like 10 hours.
Oh, was that? I thought it was only for like 3 hours.
I thought I rolled it.
It was running towards the end as we were getting back to the tavern.
Yeah.
Because.
Like I said, I don't think we'd purchased any rooms. We were just using that as kind of a base of operations to kind of get the lay of the land.
Yeah.
Come up with a plan to sneak back into the district to figure out like the source of this plague and investigate Boulder Inn.
If the computer's locked, it doesn't show that it's charging.
At this time,
I unlocked it now. It says it's charging.
Like early mid-afternoon.
Right.
It's because the fight started at like 10 or 11 a.m.
Oh, okay.
There were only a couple fights before Gunther's, and you were like done and out of that stadium that Coliseum by like 2.
Okay.
Probably took you about a half hour to navigate around the city back to Underlook. So at this point, I'd probably say you're in the neighborhood of 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Afternoon.
Turn to
Plenty
blue.
of day
In the
ahead.
afternoon. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely in the afternoon. The day is still. It's inside the tavern right now. It's definitely that it's that midday slump. There's the one or two committed patrons throughout the establishment, but for the most part, the tavern is empty. And so you find yourselves seated around a table, a low fire burning in the fireplace off to the side of the room, a single older human female working behind the bar, with a younger barmaid sort of doing a lot of the running around the establishment. But you find yourselves in the afternoon is yours.
So,
Say, V at the moment is more curious about the fact that he saw all of the Warforged, but we're just chilling, right?
yeah. Just kind of gonna look around the group. Should we eat while we're here? Get a couple drinks.
Might as well.
Figure out next steps.
You know I'm not going to turn down alcohol.
Well, I ate a bunch of food while watching the fight. I was just nervously snacking. I think half of the food is probably gone. But I could go for a drink.
More juice?
Yes, I think more of the Thalanus wine is in order for me. That did not end well.
No, it did not. But figure start there. So I'm curious. I would like to go make sure everyone's okay at the Thalanus Spirits. But currently everything seems to be in lockdown.
Well, fortunately, you and Gavin know the area pretty well. I figure you guys could easily find us a back way in.
What do you think?
Sounds like it could be fun.
I mean, it'd be easy enough. Plenty of ways in.
For me, at least. Are you like 6 foot tall?
Yeah.
8 foot tall?
Yeah. Just 6 foot, yeah.
Yeah, you're a big dude. I'm tiny. I get it. I can sneak around.
I mean, the goal is for all of us to be able to get in.
Oh, okay. That was me and you.
We know the back ways in.
Yeah. I don't know we're bringing, them.
I had assumed everyone was coming.
I will say this is all telepathic, by the way. I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming that's I would not say it for a
Oh,
moment.
yeah.
You gotta
Let me
do
be very
the
clear.
some type of telepathic. Finger
This-
on your nose.
This
Got
is
it.
telepathic.
This is
Thumb on
This
your
is to-
forehead for out of character.
They could be helpful. Telepathic still.
Yeah, maybe. I like it when you and I go at it together.
Phrasing.
Lots of phrasing going on.
I have a stealth of 10. I'm just saying, if you want somebody to help and be sneaky.
Your stealth is 10?
Yeah.
Plus 10.
That's nice. Mine's
Plus
11. Mine's 11. Fuck you.
Okay.
I go up to 11.
I think.
Cool. I'm just saying I'm an extra person that's also sneaky.
No, I was quoting the movie.
Mine's plus 1.
Clank, 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 clank.
Disadvantage heavy armor. No.
Hey, luckily we don't have that. in
Roll
this
the
group.
20. With disadvantage, that's a 1.
At this point, while you're all having this conversation, the young barmaid swings by the table and goes, "Can I get anything for you lot?"
Juice.
Take one of those, please.
Okay, 2 of those. Any food? Any meals?
I think I'm good on meals, but definitely take a drink.
Can I have a drink?
Why are you asking me?
Can I have a drink?
Round for the table. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Thank you. You still never answered me. When did you start drinking?
Hey.
Why don't we see if any of those other Warforged want coin?
My parents disappeared and you left me for fucking 3 years. I had to do something as a hobby.
Fair enough. But Warforged wanting coin, I suppose they are part of City Guard.
They're wanting coin? Is that what you said?
I want coin.
Who wants coin? That's Joe asking.
You just see V's hand raised.
V is basically saying that because he wants coin, he thinks the other Warforged
Warforged.
guards
Oh,
might
I missed
also
that. Okay,
want
yeah.
coin.
I got you.
Basically, he's roundabout asking if we can bribe the guards
Yep.
to let us in.
I mean,
Let us out.
the
It's such a good movie.
the back ways that we're aware of, we can avoid all that, and then if guards happen to see something, throw a little bit of coin at them. Usually, it calms the situation. So, not necessarily a bad idea.
I could
Are we-
also banish them.
I wish Kevin knew about that.
Prank.
Prank
Actually, would I see the...
is not really the way that I think we should do that.
What are you talking about, pranks?
Do you remember the SNL sketch with Christopher Walken?
Yeah, I've got a lot to catch you up on, and you've got a lot to
he's
catch
like
me
part
up
of
on, I
like a
think.
prankster show, but he
Knows
always
how to
takes
prank
too far and he
people?
pranks
He doesn't
them
seem
to
like
death.
the jokester type.
Oh my god, it's so
It's not
good.
not the good kind of prank.
I think it was like
It's
Jimmy
the I'm gonna
Fallon
banish
hosts,
you into
like,
the
a prank
abyss
show.
kind of prank.
And he always has like Christopher Walken on as
Banish you
his
into the
guest.
abyss?
And he's just
Yes.
like submits like home videos where
Good
they
job,
prank
V.
people. And he
All of
always-
this was... All, no,
like,
all of this is going to be
I swear,
internal. I'm just going to look at you and just go, good job,
my
V.
neighbor to death.
You have no
with a
idea why I'm saying
soldering
good job.
iron.
Just good job, V.
And so V
It's
goes,
essentially like it's
thank you.
While this is all going on, the young barmaid returns with a tray of drinks, sets them down on the table. The drinks are arranged to where when she slides the tray into the center of the table, each tankard has a handle outturned to each of you based on what your orders were, and so you just sort of have to pick it up and go.
That's the Galanda flair right there.
So does everyone pick up theirs? Because if you do, V's just gonna turn the thing, so that his juice just faces you.
Thanks, B.
Juice.
Turn the table like it's a lazy... Oh, I hope the table doesn't turn and you just scratch it.
No, I
Floor,
turned
it's
the
like-
serving because she
Turned
set
the,
up whole
like,
platter.
yeah, like the
Oh,
serving
I
tray.
thought you meant the table.
No.
I was like, I picture like Men in Black. He starts turning the table.
Just rotates the whole table. And I'm definitely imagining these like park benches where the seats are attached to the table, so he's turning it and you're all just rotating with the table.
He's trying to figure out why it's not going... Why is she still not getting the
Let's
juice?
see that strength check.
I don't have enough intelligence to understand that won't work.
So now I'm double fisting juice. So how are we gonna sneak in? I say that way too loud.
What's your passive insight, by the way?
You don't need to roll. It's already taken care of.
What? What did you just do? I'm inside your brain. I should be hearing what you're thinking.
Oh yeah, no, actually, you would probably get a blip of that.
There
too.
is
This
there
could be
is
great.
there is
great
there is a
feature.
noticeable and sudden shift in Jet's in Jet's mannerisms and his demeanor. Imagine it like
More serious or more...
imagine so you have this psychic connection to him, right? And even though you're not actively using it right now, there's a I'm very much imagining it like it's like a stream of energy.
Okay.
Right? And you're just sort of conscious of it, right? It's like a cat in the room. They're there, you're not paying attention to them, but you know they're there. There is a sudden if the wave of energy is just flowing along nice, all of a sudden you just subtly notice that it suddenly takes a 90-degree turn. And there is just an immediate shift in number one, his thought pattern and his demeanor.
Telepathically, you good?
Someone wants to talk.
I'll kind of like sit up a little bit. Can I perception check just on the room? Just to like kind of like try to scan the room?
Yeah. Roll perception.
I should have known my dice out. I'm going to do this. That's
Do I need to roll for the same thing?
22.
Or are you just looking
Here's the thing, like,
perception?
I was gonna say, because
Yeah.
we're talking telepathically, like, I don't know, did you,
What?
or you just keep an eye on it?
I was gonna say I'm not gonna because he is looking actively. I would put it as his role, but it doesn't matter because he rolled your passive perception. Nobody. There's nobody untoward. Like I said, the tavern itself is predominantly empty, except for you guys and like one or two committed patrons that are here all day, every day.
That don't seem out of the ordinary?
No, Both of them are like older human males in like workers' clothing, laborers' clothing. That one of them is mid drink and conversation with the older lady behind the bar. The other one is at the opposite end of the bar, and he's doing one of the on the bar top, but still one hand on his tankard.
I did that once in grade 11 and found out that's illegal.
Yes, it is.
Beyond that, though, there's nothing that seems untoward.
Okay. Nick, double check the camera, make sure my drink's not in the way. Okay. I put a drink right in front of the camera is why I was asking. There's a drink right here.
Yeah, you can't see it.
Okay, cool. Anybody else need anything, Lama?
I'm good.
I'm good, sir. Thank you.
Who are you
thinking?
I know obviously you saw a change in the mood.
Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, I would have looked to see if there was anything in this specific setting that would have triggered that. Be it a person or like
I just don't want it to get wet.
Something else going on in the room that's
it definitely seems like it was just not that something in the room set him on edge. It's just it's like that stray thought, something that you were trying to forget about came back, and now it came back, and there's that sudden.
Oh my god! I made such an ass of myself that one time.
And so there's just that noticeable shift in his demeanor.
Definitely going to drink some more.
I would say about this point, you two, Ren and V, you start to pick up on there's just that. You can see the unspoken conversations happening. Even though you're a kid, you're still acutely aware of that kind of stuff. You may not understand it, but there's that. You can tell when something's.
The adults are talking.
When the adults are conversing, you can tell that there's that shift, and so you're sort of like, "What the fuck?"
Mm-hmm. Chad, is everything?
What did you think of the fight?
Well, obviously I was disappointed by it. I mean, Gunther clearly had the upper hand and should have won.
I made money.
But, I don't know, he seemed distracted.
Can I tell that
And
Jet
also, because he lost, he's no longer with us.
Of the change in
What's your passive insight?
Who's gonna kill the bad guys if Gunther's not here?
Yeah.
Don't worry about
It'll
that.
be at the
I
same
can do
place that
plenty
your
of
passive
killing.
perception is located.
I
on
mean,
the D&D sheet.
in his defense. I mean, he'll be back
Insight.
with us soon enough. And
Is 14.
honestly, I don't really see us needing to really kill
Roll a
anybody right
deception
now.
if you're trying to hide, since you're trying to hide that.
You know, we say that a lot, but we also end up needing Gunther
Deception,
quite
or
a
are you
bit.
looking
I
for
mean,
performance?
you never really know when you're gonna be trapped on a floating
Whichever,
island
your
in
choice.
the middle
Okay.
of the moorland.
I'm sorry. Did that happen to you?
Oh, it's the same. It doesn't matter. 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So I can't tell why it changed?
No,
I mean,
you just sort of.
when were you on a
you-
floating island?
With
Jet
your
was with
newfound
us.
semi-emotional intelligence,
As I said,
you're
a lot.
like.
Jet,
Do you know how fucking boring it's
You
been in
sense the
this city
attitude
by
going
myself?
from, yeah, the fight, cool, alright, what are we gonna do to.
I get to like run notes to people
Something's
and
up.
shit. Do you know how boring
Something's
that
up.
gets? You're off
He's
on
gonna
fucking
step up.
floating islands.
No.
That was
Well,
That's why I was just
off on
reading it.
floating
Making
islands,
sure.
about to get our
If I
brains
don't
extracted
throw,
by
they
mind
don't know
flayers.
to
I mean,
take
it really wasn't.
Specifically, they know what I'm
It wasn't a good thing.
And
So
giant
we gotta
Mind flayer?
Then
Yeah,
are you
that's
just doing?
their
Are
I'm
you just
just
doing
doing
sort of
surface.
like,
There's what,
are you just
two?
doing sonar
Three?
speaking?
No, I'm doing
Two?
surface
Two.
on everyone.
What the fuck is a mind flayer?
Okay.
You don't want to know.
Oh, hold on. Actually, that's a question. I would not know what a mind flayer is, would I?
No.
Okay, yeah. What the fuck is
That's
a mind
probably a
flayer?
good thing.
Probably good.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I didn't know if it would be something that like
put
people
out my
had read in
hand,
mythology
like-
or books or like.
I put out my hand like
So-
Star Wars hologram, and I just minor
I sense the thing
mind
changed,
flayer.
and
in all
immediately
its
he
glory.
starts talking to
That
Rynny,
is
so it's
fucking
gonna
cool.
surface
Okay.
thoughts.
Oh fuck, two of them.
It's literally surface thoughts.
Well, I
so
mean,
it's the
one
most
was ripped his brain
recent,
out.
most exact
But
recent
guess who
thoughts.
came in to help save the day?
Uh,
Gunther.
keep her distracted.
It's true.
V.
And,
Something's
well,
not right.
and Zareth. Zareth definitely did.
Okay.
Is there and V?
So,
Gunther is
Her-
kind of
which I'm assuming is gonna be.
He was there. In spirit.
there.
Who is there?
Flickers of Jet's upset
Um,
to thoughts on the fight.
The person you replaced, I guess.
Wow.
No one can replace Zareth.
A good friend.
No one can replace Badger.
He was my teacher.
Yeah,
So,
I would
so
imagine
in that case, well, I was gonna make a joke, but that's dumb.
when he
There
was
is still that childlike,
I'm basically the Sammy Hagar.
just general like excitement at everything. That
I don't like that.
kids are always
Van
always
Hagar.
happy no matter what. But
Is
there is
that- is that-
definitely
Van Halen?
there is
Not
a,
Van
there is a
Hagar.
strand of
Airheads.
Joe Dirt.
like the back is straightened.
Joe Dirt.
Their like ears are up.
Maybe a
hair on the
You're
back of
my
the neck is
sister.
standing,
Yeah,
my
there's
sister, you're
there's
my
like an
sister.
alertness to Captain.
and then Jet.
Surface thoughts.
It would be the most prominent thing on his mind.
Well, I would say, depending on when you caught it.
I thought the
because
same thing. I was like,
don't say it.
Your mood changed. Vale noticed it. Ren started to notice, but as soon as she was asking, Vale
I tried to
cuts her
change the
off
subject
gets
and
the
get her
subject
distracted.
pivoted, and
Which-
you're sort of like,
Well, now I'm in the middle of this conversation.
And then,
That's
I feel like
what
you and I are
this is
discussing like
Yeah.
So your
tactics, like
thoughts
blow by
are,
blow.
like, there's
you know,
still that-
Guta,
Yeah.
that
you know, had him on the
back
ropes,
end
and then he just
oh,
what he should have
fuck.
done is not charge into him.
fuck.
And you know, the monk just had so
To
much speed
whatever
and
the
just couldn't.
conversation is.
So
Guta just
worry.
really should have
Yes.
like
Worry.
held
Yes.
his ground and
Not
maybe
in
forced
a-
the monk to
not
come
in
to
a
him.
sense of
So
danger,
I'm like,
but
I,
in a
I will
sense
say,
of
as often as we've fought with
Anxiety.
Guthrie,
yes,
it's
yes, just
I've seen him when
overbearing
he's
anxiety.
concentrating. You've seen him when he's concentrating. He just didn't seem in his element.
you know what?
Just because he got his ass kicked.
He didn't have us. We've helped him.
Well, that's true.
You know.
Well, to be brutally honest, I don't think he's
Why are you
fought an
anxious?
enemy that was so
agile.
quick and nimble. Yeah.
Something I forgot to do. I kind of.
And we've always had his
Get it
back.
done.
I do find it funny. We're sitting here and having all these conversations, and Discord chat, or not Discord chat, Twitch chat is literally just talking about the cat in your lap.
I mean, I'm sorry, but he is definitely
Wait,
the main character.
who's talking?
First time chat people like
Hello.
Oh, was it-
That's-
of Israeli.
That's who was that
Cupcake.
in the game?
Badger.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I've learned how to.
I thought you were
I
just like,
haven't
I
learned
don't
how
know
to-
cat's name.
I haven't learned
That's
how
what
to
I was saying.
summon
Nobody can replace, or people can replace Zareth. Nobody can replace Badger.
I don't know. This Zareth sounds like a very handsome and creative person.
Well,
I
soon,
feel like he was a big
you'll
part
be
of your
able to
party,
summon
probably the leader.
What's that?
soon we'll be able to summon back.
Exactly. That's once I finish my education.
So you say you forgot to do something. So V just thinks, then why don't we go do it?
What are they saying?
Is that
What are they
that
saying
thought?
about
Nope,
cupcake?
that's
Just
out loud.
that's
And
vocalized.
then one guy, it
I don't
posted
think
a,
this is
a
a.
Oh, this is
emoji
a-
with
something I need to
worm.
Take care of here soon. Probably me,
Like,
maybe
C
you
space,
if you
A
want to
space, T
tag
space.
along.
Yeah.
What is
grown-up
it?
sample shit.
And he'll do it telepathically and get my ass chewed out, by the way.
I mean, some people are into that.
Self-serve thoughts.
Oh, telepathic, but
Oh, I didn't hear that part. My bad.
nope, telepathically.
I retract
Real
said
quick.
sexual statement.
And this is where I need the DM's approval. So I have it running.
Uh-huh.
When I've caught those words,
Not you.
Okay.
technically
Like-
they are thoughts.
Like, are you hacking into the telepathic
So
link? Is
detect-
I'm in.
Detect thoughts.
Hacker man.
Detect thoughts allows me to get surface thoughts without anybody realizing it. Of course, the obvious downside to V's special detect thoughts is he's glowing.
With that said, though, would I notice someone poking around in his brain?
So I poked in yours first
Oh.
without.
Yeah, so he
You
didn't.
know.
So detect thoughts detects it, like it brushes the surface.
So it's the
People
most
aren't
recent.
aware.
Yeah. it's 6 seconds of where they're not aware, and
Yeah.
then if you
If
press
you
further,
push,
then
that's when they
that
become
next 6
critically aware.
seconds.
So here's the. Did he actually get to see anything?
It's not seen.
Yeah, I get
it.
it.
It's basically
it's
like
legit. It is like it's like snippets. So he picked up that you're still a kid.
Yeah.
You still got that sort of like new friends, cool. Ooh, wow, she's pretty. Oh, he's got a cool hat. Like there's still very much that
thanks,
like
Gavin.
ADHD.
Okay.
But he picked up a sense of because of your background, Jet's on edge, and so you're sort of like alert. And
Well-
he described it perfectly. The hair on the back of your neck is up.
Yeah.
And that he picked up on a strand of that, but the majority of it was your just general
ADD.
ADD of bing, 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 squirrel,
Okay.
squirrel, squirrel, squirrel.
'Cause I was gonna say when he mentioned that he has to see somebody in the veil, and then looked at me and said, "And maybe you go too." you'd notice that I would have got more tense.
You need to find someone in the
thought
veil.
of, like, that's all between us. That's all of this is telepathic between.
I
Veil.
was gonna say
I don't.
because
There we
You
go.
have tiny people inside of you.
I first pinged your mind, and yours was distraction, which doesn't make sense to me. So it goes to Ryn.
Because you were like, gotta keep Ryn off the subject.
Oh, valid. Yeah.
So
Okay.
pinged Ryn. Ryn was mostly the fight, and then worry for Jet makes no sense. Pinged him. He's all over the place, anxious. Pinged you. Number one thing, anxiety.
Fucker.
High anxiety, victim of society.
Therefore, question is, why are you anxious?
Yep.
You forgot to do something?
Joe,
Why
that
don't
comes
we
back
go
to
do it?
my motto, which is you just
Yeah,
let the pussy
which
come
is-
to you.
You will
Yeah,
see
but you
me
got the looks to
glowing
back
too,
that
by the
up.
way.
Like,
Oh yeah.
God, I wanted to make a joke.
And special flavor.
talking about him
symbol
drowning in pussy.
is glowing a little brighter than everything else.
You were saying you gotta let the pussy come to you. I was gonna say last time that was when the first Spider-Man movie came out.
With Tobey Maguire?
No. Tom Holland.
That was 1998, I think, guys.
That may have been the first time.
It
No,
was 2000s.
it was 2000.
2002.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It
2001
was
or
right after the
2002
towers
because
fell.
it was right before I went to Southport.
Sure.
Okay, back to the table.
I'm gonna say 2001.
It was 2002. I guarantee it because I've already looked it up. Because I looked it up to see if the World Trade Center was still there when it was filmed.
Any Hooser, I think.
No,
I think
it's
Tyler
because
got-
the World Trade Center's in
Yeah.
the trailer, and then they took the World Trade Center out of the trailer. So I was trying to figure out if it was filmed like when, like in filming. That
Who
happened.
was it?
Excuse me.
It's on the DVD.
No. Universal Studios is getting sued because there's a girl in one of their trailers that didn't appear in the movie. So now everybody, like there's two guys that are doing a class action lawsuit against Universal Studios because the actresses' scenes were all taken out of the movie.
I have no fucking clue.
And they said that, they're trying to bank it on people renting the movie based off of her being in the movie. So they're suing for $5 million in damages because she wasn't in the movie.
No fucking clue.
So why aren't we doing it?
Jet said it was
Because-
something basically that he needed to take care of on his own. Potentially, Kevin could come along, but
But that was all...
he talked to V out loud.
You heard that part.
But then
yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, the get my ass chewed out was to
Yeah.
directly to Kevin saying,
And
I
so
might be in
that's
some
why
shit.
that's why I turned to God and said, "What I've heard that. When I've heard the words "get the ass chewed out" because it's surface thought to surface thought.
only for 6 seconds though for each person, like for
Remember
each.
the last 6 seconds?
I can continue to ping between individuals though, as long as I don't probe deeper into the mind. Specifically, the text out says, as long as I don't probe deeper, as I'm trying to get, because deeper I get full images, I get full
Coherent thoughts.
coherent.
How long
thoughts,
does the tech
I get
thoughts
full
last,
everything.
though?
1 minute.
Last for a full minute
You should.
to do surface level stuff.
You can
Yeah,
just keep it,
because
the spell's active.
It's just constantly.
You can
Going.
You can keep
pinging,
shifting it.
basically.
So that's my
I would
question
say
there
as long
is,
as
do I
if you're
notice
not,
him
if you're
inside?
Not probing deeper.
I'm not.
There's that. I wouldn't say that you get the I'm gonna get my ass chewed out. There's that general. It's not a sense of
Worry,
fear,
unease.
It's a sense of dread. It is that feeling you get where your heart sinks and your stomach goes up into your throat when your boss walks by and goes, "Hey, can I talk to you in my office for a second?" It's that moment of, oh fuck.
The drop in the stomach.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is there
that's
any-
fine.
So you get that just general like,
Is there any so with us being linked, is there any do I notice like something else is here? Something else is in this
I'm not including
energy
anything.
between us. No, I'm just wanting to know, do I get the feeling that someone else is listening in or watching what our connection is?
No,
up to you.
because with him doing surface thoughts,
there's no
like if he's doing surface thoughts on me, I would not in any way, shape, or form detect
Okay,
it.
that's what I was
So
trying to find out.
you having a connection with him
If
would
Jet
not
doesn't
give
know,
you
there's no way I would know.
correct.
Exactly. And again,
Which Jet
he is picking up on general ideas.
Yeah.
Not
I just
the
did. I
specific
just was like, would I be like, oh shit, someone's watching us? Did the
You
one
have no
Jet
clue.
It
hate
literally
someone
says
else's?
you initially learn the surface thoughts of that creature. What is most on its mind at that moment? And then I can either
didn't know
shift
someone
my
was playing
attention
this
to
that
another
way.
creature or attempt to probe deeper into the same creature. If I probe deeper, The target must make a wisdom saving throw, which if it fails, I get insight into reasoning, emotional state, something that looms very heavily in the mind, such as a major worry, love, but I would know the reasoning behind that worry. It's kind of like, imagine all the telepathic, like when, the way I'm imagining is like when Xavier is, like he puts on the helmet, he gets this very surface blinks of everyone that he's connected to.
Stewart or McAvoy?
I really like McAvoy.
All right. We're before this whole conversation.
Yep, derails.
Gets started.
I was just quoting Deadpool. We're gonna go see
Yeah.
Professor
How do
Stewart.
you guys proceed? Was this
So I imagine at this point Jet has noticed that B is glowing, though.
Yep.
He just kind of
And it's he's glowing, and he is 100%
staring.
The
like
unique,
just focused on you.
the unique part though with the docent understanding the new emotional state, exactly like you were saying, he knows how to restrict.
Yep.
Learned how to restrict.
Yep. Slight annoyance is the next thing that you get of. If you're reading my mind, kind of. Damn it.
That's fair.
Yep. Just.
But B keeps that to himself.
Yeah, no, that's something more for us to deal with. Something I need to take care of.
Is this all out loud?
Yeah, Jet would
Well, if you,
direct that to
yeah,
me.
if you need to, you and Gabby need to take care of something, then we can hang out here, and or we could meet you somewhere.
Works for me.
Can I do anything before you take off? I can help you.
Help in what way? I guess is.
But
What are you thinking?
well, it depends. Do you need to be more sneaky or more persuasive?
Probably more persuasive, if I'm honest.
I can help with that. Well,
I've got just the
B would stop.
I can only hang on to this for so long, but if you can wrap it up in an hour, I can. Let's see what's it called officially.
Invincibility.
Well, yes, the enhanced ability, but there's the specific charisma.
Is it
one,
the
where it's the
Eagle Splendor one?
It is the. It is Eagle Splendor. You're right.
Woo!
I don't know why eagles are super persuasive, but I don't know why that's the animal they chose.
Because we're glorious.
Because freedom, that's why.
But I will put my hand on your shoulder and kind of briefly close my eyes and.
Fight milk.
The
Power of crows.
That was such a good.
It's fantastic.
And I will cast enhance ability, Eagle Splendor for charisma checks for the next time. That might
Thank you.
help you talk your way into or out of a situation.
Thank you.
Of course.
You can tell definitely he was going to say something and then changed. Just nope, not going to say that.
Yeah, that's all I really can do.
You'll be you'll watch him.
Yeah.
You'll watch her as well.
When is he not watching
I
her?
was gonna say because I don't. Most of the time, Warforged faces are very simple because it's just metal and wood and everything. But you get the sense of like, really?
Give me some assurance at least.
Always.
There we go. Thank you. That's all I want. Captain, are you
In
coming?
his head, he just hears.
But I just kind of smile adoringly at you. He's just like, he's got me. He's definitely got me. You're good. Do what you need to do and get us away in. I don't like not knowing what's going on in there.
Right.
That
Don't
whole-
get shit faced while you're watching him.
In your head, you just hear, "It's okay."
Low as warlock.
I got this. You think this is my first time watching her?
No, but also you get shit faced a lot.
And so do you. With me,
less
but
than
I kind of like to the serious kid thing. I go, I'll keep it out of it.
Yeah, that's actually probably more accurate.
All right.
If you keep an eye on you, you keep an eye on him.
You got this.
Yeah.
Go do what you need to do.
Ready?
Alright.
Let's go.
Jews.
I'm very confused.
So before we go off on that, is there anything the rest of you in the tavern want to do, or are you just hanging out for the afternoon until they return?
If we're just posting up, I'm getting food.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll just hang out, get food, get
We'll
drinks.
say for drinks and food for the rest of the afternoon, we'll just say
You guys are doing that
5 seconds.
I got it.
I don't have any money.
That'll cover food and drinks
Yeah.
for the
Jet has
until Jet and Kevin return.
How much was it?
We lost a lot of money.
It was
No,
$5.
I
I
got it.
feel like we lost a lot.
I'll put 2
Not a
gold on the
terrible
counter.
We need
on
to
the
get a
table
job.
and just say keep it
We need
under
to get that.
Okay.
Well, Jet's hoping to sell some information here.
All right,
in a
there you go.
minute,
Yeah,
so.
the information broker.
We'll wait for Kevin to come back just because it is related to him.
I will pay the 5 silver and pocket his 2 gold.
Yeah, that's standard.
Rogues.
Okay.
He
Rogues.
said he's putting 2 gold on the table and saying keep it under that. I'll take the 2 gold and then I'll pay the 5 silver. Yeah.
Fair enough.
He did not say bring me the change. You're right.
Always got.
That's his fault. Cupcake's so happy.
Yeah. Do you just never pay attention to this cat? Like.
Don't even start.
You just never. This cat is so attention
Don't
starved.
even start.
Attention starved. He's like, what the fuck? You guys talking about me now?
Yeah, shush, you spoiled brat.
He
God.
comes.
Even today, I gave him extra attention, hoping that he wouldn't be all like super needy during D&D. I was like, I'm gonna love on you a lot today, so that you're
Oh no.
satiated.
All he learned was, well, I'm getting extra love
Yeah.
tonight.
Yep.
Yeah,
This
And
is
so-
the warm up.
yeah, should have done that. Okay, so as you guys step out of the Golden Dragon Inn and begin your journey, luckily it's not a very long journey from where you're at. You basically just have to go up a couple levels and across a couple bridges to end up in the bazaar, as the bazaar is also within Middle Dura. You all have been to the bazaar once or twice, and it is a bustling center of commerce. All manner of shops and stores, warehouses, restaurants, and then there's also the plethora of alleyway markets that have sprung up with just small tents and shacks and stalls for small-time traders, plying all kinds of wares from handcrafted jewelry and silverware, handcrafted bowls and plates and home goods, ranging up to some very fine storefronts that are the size of 2 or 3 of the tavern you were just in for a single store that seems to sell all manner of goods, ranging from weapons and farming implements to clothing and armor to different general supplies. But you begin to make your way deeper and deeper into the bazaar, taking turns down alleys. And as you're going, Kevin, it starts to get... You start getting a little turned around. And even with your impeccable sense of direction inside the city, it seems to you that Jet is like making circles. And he keeps taking left turns, and then all of a sudden he takes one right, but you swear you saw that statue 10 minutes ago. And as you're following Jet, which he's maintaining a bit of a brisk pace, like, your sense of alignment within the city gets spun around 7 or 8 times.
Yep.
And there are a couple times where you start getting that almost like claustrophobia, like the city itself is starting to like bend in on top of you because you're losing your orientation.
Yeah.
But you find yourself coming to a small little courtyard within the bazaar. It's lined with buildings. One is another Golden Dragon Inn. There is a couple small stalls set up with small, low-end traders. All of it situated up against a rather run-down looking warehouse. And you continue to follow Jet as he breaks off down one of the side streets from the central courtyard and then cuts down an alleyway. And this warehouse, it looks like it hasn't been tended to or maintained in decades. Widely overlooked, probably. And really only paid attention to by the vendors in this area. And even then, those vendors don't care about it. It's just there. It's sort of an eyesore, but it's their eyesore. They make their living in this area. But you continue to follow Jet as he actually makes his way through a false wall in the back of this warehouse, and you enter into it. And again, you have no clue where you're at, but Jet is very meticulously making his way through these alleys and into this broken down warehouse, and then down a set of stairs into a basement, and then around pillars and machinery inside the basement to another false wall that enters into a tunnel that seems like it would be part of the sewer system, but looks more impromptu. And you emerge after following Jet into a large star-shaped chamber that is actually rather bustling with activity. And just to give you a rundown, because you haven't actually been here in the game yet, below the disheveled appearance of the warehouse lies a nexus of the translucent vein. Only accessible by traversing multiple layers of hidden doors, false walls, secret tunnels, and trapdoors. There lies a large central chamber with multiple side chambers branching off. Shaped like a star, this enclave was once designed to be a shipping nexus. Merchants and traders could load their cargo onto sky coaches, a smaller version of airships, and fly them in and out of this chamber, because at the end of each of the points of the star used to be large exits out of the tower the core tower that you're currently in. This central shipping nexus facilitated a massive increase in trade for the bazaar, and each of the 5 chambers branching off used to have its own exit and entrance in and out of the tower. During the war, all cargo and ships in and out of Sharn had to pass through inspection checkpoints. Standard security.
Right.
But too many people with loose civil morals tried to skirt those customs checkpoints, and this shipping nexus was actually sort of a hub for that. A lot of people would pay guards to look the other way and pay the merchants to look the other way, and give them dock time so that they could unload and load cargo that they didn't want caught by customs. But once the City Watch inevitably found out, they walled up the entrances and exits out of the tower and basically condemned it to death. For many years it lied unused, empty, and this was probably 20 years before the end of the war. But where the city forgot about the Nexus, the Translucent Veil obviously saw a great opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And so they sort of stepped in, and this has been the base of operations for about a decade and a half now, for at least the city of Sharn.
Okay.
The bustling activity of the massive bazaar above makes for great cover, because the bazaar is busy all times of day and night. It's the perfect way for people to move in and out without being obvious.
Right.
And also being so close to a nexus of trade and commerce, obviously there's easy to access information from all over Corvair, and also the easy ability to find and move goods and items. Some people that visit the bazaar will buy anything regardless of how it was acquired.
Of course.
But nonetheless, you emerge into this central chamber that is fairly busy. You could see probably another, anywhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 60 individuals, each doing their own thing. There is you sort of emerge on like an upper level of this chamber, and there's a couple stairways down to what would be like the central shipping platform. And you can see the long tunnels that would lead to the exteriors of this tower that you're in. And each of those tunnels is full of, you can see one tunnel is full of nothing but like large crates and barrels all the way down, probably 200, 300, 400 feet. Another tunnel is nothing but large like bookshelves, just stacked with books all the way down. Thousands of books.
And he hasn't been here with Jet before, right?
No.
Okay.
No, and
Do I at least recognize that like this seems to be Vale?
Yeah, you pick up as soon as you start. As soon as you
people.
start fall, like once Jet gets into the warehouse and through some of the hidden doors, you start picking up on the markings that are left to help Vale members identify the correct route.
Okay.
Because there are multiple times where the route would branch into 4 separate routes, and one of them is marked to go down the correct route. The other 3 are just dead ends.
But only Vale people would notice.
But only Vale people would notice. And you start picking up on where Jet is looking and what he's grabbing. But you emerge out of this chamber, and it doesn't take long for you to just sort of survey the area, and you look around and you lay your eyes on your handler. And you can see him sitting behind his desk, off sort of just tucked out of the central chamber off one of the side star points, and you can see him sitting behind a stack of paperwork all over his desk, and you can see just sitting like this, just writing.
Do I know your handler?
No.
Well, welcome to the van.
I'm just looking.
For you specifically, the imagery that I want you to think about here is Outlaw's Refuge from Elder Scrolls.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay.
That's the imagery I want you to think of.
Okay.
That's exactly what this is. It is a sewer that the city forgot about, that they moved in and took over.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking around. I'm just like, this is fucking cool.
Want to wait here a minute? Sure. Plenty to look at.
Yeah.
Jet will walk forward over towards his handler.
So, as you approach the desk, you see Davlin, your older gnomish handler. Probably all of 3'2", 3'4".
That guy's tall.
Despite the age that presents in his wrinkled skin and his elderly frame, his bright copper orange hair still sits in the curls and shape of someone a tenth of his age. You can see the right eye is sort of milky, cloudy white from a scar that runs sort of from the eyebrow ridge down to the cheek, the base of the jawline. And he's wearing his typical outfit of like dark leather. It's not like armor, but it's like workers' leathers. Definitely something that you could drop him in any number of the warehouses or general labor stores in the bazaar above, and he would not look out of place.
Right.
And he's just sort of sitting there writing, and just sort of you approach the desk, and he has to sort of look up at you across the mounds of paperwork that are on the desk, and he just looks and blinks a couple times like, I didn't think you were coming back.
Of course, I always come back. Just a couple detours this round.
It seems like it.
But how you been?
Busy.
As always. You want to talk?
You said detours.
Mm-hmm.
Where have you been? What have you seen?
Well,
What information do you possess?
probably the most interesting one happens to be from when I was on an airship that ran aground. In the air.
In the same sentence, those words don't usually work together.
Accurate. Yeah, no, we hit a piece of sire, actually.
And you see that, and the demeanor is like, huh. And while they had been listening to what you were saying, they hadn't been really taking notes or anything, and you see the immediate what they were working on gets pushed to the side, reaches into a drawer underneath and pulls out a stack of parchment, dips the quill, and is like focused on you, and almost like as they're reading your lips, is writing down with a rather frenetic speed.
So Jet will describe going to Sire, hitting, of course, the giant, rock, or I guess the capital. I'm blanking on the capital's name. Metrol. So basically described that they found a piece of Metrol.
Mm-hmm.
He will leave out the piece that there's the prophecy and all that kind of stuff. Okay. But the primary piece is going through that they were constantly, it seemed like, plane shifting from what a wizard, Zareth had told them.
Yeah.
That they would be.
Again, this is the first time you're also hearing this story.
What's the thing is, am I? Because he kind of left me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jed asked if he wanted to sit back for a minute and then went forward.
Unless I'm picking up anything that he's talking about, I don't know.
Probably
about what he's talking about.
I mean, you can probably get bits and pieces, but your passive perception isn't high enough to get the entire conversation.
Yeah.
Especially because this is your first time being here, so
I'm
you're sort of doing the whole
fuck.
like,
ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? Ooh,
yeah,
what?
pretty much. Interesting. You said mind flayers.
Yes.
It's been a while since we've had reports of those.
Yeah, I'd never heard of them, and then one grabbed onto my face, so that was...
That's not good.
No, that was very unpleasant.
So, piece of sire. We've heard things coming from the morning, from the morning that are things that just don't make sense. So I guess this fits. What else? You said you left Fairhaven. Why were you in Fairhaven? Your task was to go to Karnath. You find yourself in Fairhaven. That's not in Karnath.
No, again, detours. Was on the road in Karnath, and actually, the city I was in, tiny little village, was destroyed by demons, fiends.
You see, they sort of, and you're talking, and while they're like writing with one hand, you see like there's a large stack of like loose paper and like tomes on their left side, and while they're writing, they're still sort of looking at you, but they're like fingering through the stack. And then they come across a folder, and they're like, and they sort of like pull the folder out, and they keep writing as you describe your encounter with, Ryn and her village and what happened. And they're like, that's peculiar because that's not the only report of out of place demonic activity.
In Karnath or elsewhere?
Breeden is the name of my village.
I'm sorry?
Breeden is the name of my village.
Thank you.
There's been, and he sort of like opens the folder, and you can see probably in the neighborhood of 8 to 10 other dockets with inside of it that is like we've had mostly within the Five Nations, because we don't really pay much attention to the wastes and the marches, and what happens in the principalities. Within the nations, though, we've seen an uptick in rogue demonic activity, primarily focused in smaller locales. At first, we sort of brushed it off as sporadic. Some demons had made it through during a coterminous event, or what have you. But we're starting to see an uptick in these reports, and it is curious.
Yeah.
What could be driving the increased activity? Are they up to something? Is there something? It all bodes ill.
What do you know of cult activities potentially drawing them? I asked because when I was in Fairhaven, we came across a particular demon that had quite an odd beard, and that was quite powerful.
Well,
Not,
cult activity seems to be
The bearded devil.
more rampant nowadays than it ever has been, but you can attribute that to the general instability in the world. The war is over, but everybody's still
Jet was
on
that
edge.
they were wearing purple robes.
Everybody's, there are those that used to follow the flame permanently that are now dissuaded with their views and have turned to more extreme but impulsive answers. In terms of, can you what you said you encountered a devil?
Yes.
There are
Odd
quite a
beard. They were cultists that drew him. Purple robes.
Jet would not know that they were using marks of power for
He's
some.
reaching up to put his paw on my ribs.
Oh yeah, the dragon mark. They were.
I didn't know you were coming home so early.
That's slow?
We did like 3 transactions. And I left at 7:30.
Jesus Christ.
They're using dragon marks to power the summonings.
They were trying to harvest dragon marks. It seemed very interested in.
Well, that leads me to believe that they're probably any number of the sporadic cults that worship Kyber, that worship the dragon below. Many of them exist. Many of them exist. Most of them unrelated to each other. And it's not out of place for them to try small summoning rituals and sow chaos where they can, but we'll file that away. I'd like to circle back to the demons.
To
Though,
the demons.
Jet would know about that.
where you would have described where you were in Karnath, so you, was there anything else that seemed out of place while you were in Karnath? Without being here, mitigating pigeons.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say,
Ryn.
yeah,
I'm not there.
yeah. Jack kind of pauses a minute, trying to figure out how to frame that. And I imagine he would probably pick up on that there's something that Jet does not want to say.
We'll come back. While you were in, what I'm trying to get at is, while you were in Karnath, did you see any, I don't know, religious celebrations, any religious processions, any, out of the ordinary religious fervor? And it sort of sparks, like you start thinking back, and you didn't really see much out of the ordinary because
Right.
the Karnathi have always been a little bit, I don't want to say extremist with their religion, but their religion is so shunned by the rest of Corvair that they're like oddly proud of it. So it's not like they're outwardly, like fanatical about it, but there's definitely that sense of, yeah, I'm Karnathi. And it doesn't. It didn't strike you as odd at the time, but as he sort of starts describing things, you start remembering like being on the road and having to sort of push to the side when a long procession of Karnathi priests would come by.
Now that you mention it, I mean, on the road in Karnath, we oftentimes came across, or not really oftentimes, I guess I should say, but we came across processions of priests. What does that mean to you?
Well, call a necromancer a priest, he's still a necromancer.
I find that horrific. You hear whispered somewhere.
Dress
far
up
away.
corpses in shining armor with regal banners.
That's my wife, you fun.
They're still undead. We've been getting reports of increased Karnathi activity near sites of former battles. Specifically, increased necromantic activity. We all know Karnath's penchant for bolstering their forces with the undead. So, it does cause us some concern.
Interesting. Good to know.
What about your experience in the village with demons makes you so apprehensive?
I watched my own village
We've
burn.
worked- I'm sorry?
I watched my own village burn.
Mm-hmm.
Surely you can understand that that's a difficult topic.
It is, but we've worked together for many years. You've seen similar before in your own searches.
Doesn't make
This
it any
one
easier.
seems to be affecting you differently.
Oh, you know, I kind of found Kevin and a young man that had lost everything. I met a young girl that had lost everything. She's been traveling with me.
And yet, Kevin, you abandoned.
Could you bring that up?
You've always seemed to have a penchant
Here,
for
here.
I have to go
attracting strays.
to go to the Delta counter to check that baggage.
Oh, so good.
But so we've
Proud of you.
discussed your time in Karnath
Yes.
and what led you to Fairhaven.
Yes.
What brought you to Sharn?
Had to check in, but more so actually met a fighter along the way, a pit fighter. Quite interesting fight, unfortunately he lost, but that was earlier today. Gunther.
We've heard quite a few folks that haven't been able to deliver on their bets after his loss. Seems to be quite the upset.
Always bet on Cap.
Yeah, no, we were a little surprised as well. But overall, that's what brought us to Sean. And on the way to Sean, that's when we had the fun airship adventure, if you want to call it fun. Mind flayers are not so much.
What did you find yourself doing in Fairhaven? Anything particular? Any morsels of information you would have for us?
Well, possibly something of interest. What do you know of the exiled prince?
That he was sent away after a lost duel right after his mother had outlawed duels of honor.
He's up, right?
We met him.
He's been in exile for
Which guy?
The guy that hated us. We were
Few years
supposed to
now?
deliver a letter. We delivered the letter.
What about
the guy
What if I
left.
told you I was asked to deliver a message to him?
Yeah. I remember now.
I was like, yeah, dude.
I was like, I don't remember that. Wait, what?
so you immediately notice that perks up and looks around at like who else is paying attention to the conversation, like a fellow workers. So you're saying that you had an audience with the queen.
Not the queen, no. But a letter from her.
Do you have the letter?
Pass it on.
Did you make a copy?
It's a magical seal. The fuck you expect me to do? Screw with it? so that I can fucking die.
You should know that we have our ways.
Couldn't get here fast enough.
Shame. Imagine the money we could have made off of that.
Imagine the money you can make off of the fact that I actually met someone who lived through the morning. Did I forget to mention that? Might have met a petrified soldier that we were able to unpetrify.
He's got like 6 pages of parchment in front of him. They're all for like different threads that you've got going right now, and he's like starting to lose space on his table as you're like detailing all of these different adventures and things that you've done, and it starts getting very cluttered.
Told you, detours. But wouldn't you rather experience it yourself?
Sure.
Got detect thoughts ready?
And he'll reach into one of the top drawers, and he'll pull out a small little like pyramid-sized, what would honestly look like a paperweight made out of crystal. He just sort of sets it there and like pushes it about halfway across the desk and just like holds his finger on top of it. And it's basically it's a magical item. It casts detect thoughts when 2 people touch it.
Yep.
And so instead of having to do the checks and all that, it's more of a willing connection between 2 people.
Yep. Which Jet would, and he would recall everything that the Metral soldier showed him. Technically, that V showed him.
Yeah.
And it's
So of the morning, basically,
yeah.
him walking through and then seeing everything.
That is one of few accounts I think we've ever heard of the actual occurrence. I already know a few people that would be very, very interested in this information.
Figure we would. Again, detours are sometimes worth it.
Right. Well, your friend's fight is over. What's next? Where are you going?
Well,
Are you looking for a new task? What is your plan?
always looking for work. Definitely looking for some information as well as always. And
Wouldn't be a meeting without.
of course. And I think our next task is to check out this sickness that's taken Underlook. I have friends, as you know, there.
Yes, we've been hearing a lot about that. You say an Underlook?
Yes.
We heard that City Watch was placed in quarantine.
Right.
They've done so with Underlook and a few of the lower districts in Dura. Only one that hasn't been really cordoned off is the red light district, but I don't think the City Watch would even dare try to cordon that off.
They'd be dumb if they tried.
It'd be entertaining.
It would be.
What information are you looking for?
Well, is Leah then alright? Everyone there. A lot of spirits.
We typically only do weekly check-ins with them, and they just checked in a few days ago, but I can pull some strings.
Or if you could pull some strings, get me in with my group. That way we can go take a look.
See, it's odd. You're asking me for assistance. Breaking into the neighborhood is sort of your stomping ground.
I mean,
In this
more
situation,
so-
I would direct you to
well,
ask yourself.
well, more so, if shit goes awry, you help clear it up with the city guard is what I'm asking. Come on. Pull some strings.
I knew this
if
was the
shit-
direction it was going.
If shit goes awry. I don't
Has
know.
shit already gone south?
No,
Okay.
we haven't gone in yet.
You sometimes have a habit of coming to me after the fact. You can understand my concern. Cat on the table.
Put down.
But food.
Bad.
Like, whatever, I'll walk away.
If
Just don't call me back.
the situation arises, you know that we have our connections, but let's try
Well, of course.
to not get to that point.
Of course. I just want to know you've got my back, of course.
Of course. We have heard some information from the families in Khalistan, which is one of the lower districts of Dora.
Mhm.
Predominantly a halfling neighborhood. Widely considered like the hub of activity for the Boromar clan, which is like the halfling crime syndicate.
Right.
We've heard a lot of communications coming from Khalistan telling their associates to be careful when traveling through the lower districts. There's reports of the Ravers from Fallen going farther than their usual haunts.
Understood.
And it seems like this illness is beginning to spread. The city didn't pay much heed for a while. The city never does for the lower districts anyways. But now that it's begun spreading farther up the towers, the city's starting to take notice.
Right. Only when it comes knocking on their doorstep do the rich can.
Of course. Only when it starts to impact their wallets. I'll see what else we can find. If you can get into Underlook, make sure our associates are safe.
Of course.
If they need out, we can get them out. But I also wouldn't mind some staying and seeing what's going on. Not that the City Watch is untrustworthy, but when they pull the curtain around somewhere,
It's usually not a good thing.
it sparks my interest for what's going on behind the curtain.
Disappointed you didn't say behind the veil. But
That's a little too on the nose, don't you think?
I enjoy that sometimes. But
Well, if you're looking for work, I could potentially put you in touch with my contacts with the City Watch. I've heard that they're looking for some outside assistance with some activities in the lower districts, which honestly now with what's going on with the illness probably coincides with the illness. Any other work, I'm gonna have to
ask around.
ask around, see what's. If you're looking for farther reaching tasks, I know you're always a fan of traveling.
Oh, of course.
If you're looking for more farther reaching tasks, I'm gonna need to rustle some bushes.
You know, I'm always interested in travel. That's kind of my thing. Never staying in one spot too long. But, completely unrelated. Lords of Dust, what do you know about them? Or are you able to get me information on them? What it is, who they are?
What kind of information are you looking for? Are you looking for a generic Wikipedia page? Or are you looking
Am I
for
ever
more
looking
of
for just that?
more concise information?
More concise.
Are you looking to help me narrow it down? Are you looking for motives? Are you looking for recent incidents? Are you
Recent incidents, also Lady Ilnara, things involving her.
These sort of like basically post-it notes off to the side, writing down. What else?
Oh, I'm sure I'll think of some in some time, but those are kind of my big ones at the moment.
If you have a moment to wait, I can get a page to get you the books right now.
Oh, I definitely like that.
So he'll sort of whistle off to the side, and you see some of the younger boys about Cabin's age. One of them comes running by, and he basically just hands them the post-it note. And where you thought that he was writing down words, he's actually writing down like numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the page looks at it and like, okay. And off they go down that one chamber off to the side that was just lined with bookshelves full of books. And you sort of keep an eye on the page as they run down, and you can see them looking at it, and they're doing the whole pull one down, they throw it in a sack on the back, and they run farther down the hallway, and they're like, and then they take a couple steps back, and pull another book off. And you can see that they're just going, it's basically like a shopping list, and they're gathering the books they're needing.
Awesome. Trying to figure out if Jet's going to do something or not.
Okay.
Jet has the scroll with the letter back to the queen.
Oh yes, that one.
Yep.
If you are... If you're looking to explore further down your experiences with your piece of metro,
Mm-hmm.
someone that might be interested in that information would be our friend Dean Kremler at the university.
Have I heard that name ever before? Okay.
Kremmler.
Ooh, M-M.
Dean Kremler. He has an interesting passion for magic and magical items from lost civilizations. Even though it's fairly recent, we can consider Sire a lost civilization.
It appears to be plane hopping, so yes, I would imagine that would qualify as lost. Or at least pieces of it.
I
plane
will
hopping.
say he does have a penchant for being out there.
In what sense of the word?
All of them.
That's not particularly helpful.
He's currently dealing with a scandal where a student got injured during a field trip, as he called it, that was actually exploring a ruin on the edge of the moorland.
Is it on the edge of the moorland, so like in the moorland then? Or just on the outside of it?
Depends on whose reports you read.
So that close.
Yes. He's a little out there,
To go to the moorland, I imagine you'd have to be.
but he'd probably be interested in that information.
Be willing to pay for it. Because to be honest, little cash never hurts when you're wanting to travel.
Well, you have already passed that information along to me, and I will add it to our records. And
Of
we will
course.
see who does what, who wants what with the information.
Of course.
But if you were to get to the dean before
Of course.
us and were to sell the information to him, then what you do with it is your own will.
I was like, I'm gonna buy that.
Sounds like you're kind of telling me to go break the rules.
Take a screenshot.
Wouldn't that be a rule to
Don't we
Compete?
exist to break the rules?
Go on.
NFT that one.
Well, what else? It's been many months since you've been here. That can't be... You can't only be back here looking for work.
Jesus. Fucking shit.
Garbage.
Wake up.
To be honest, that
Hang
was most of it. Check in and
Garbage?
figure out who I pissed off by being late.
Day.
Well,
No!
you really only pissed me off, but
Just
that's only
you.
because I get in trouble when I don't have anything to report. You were expected a few months ago.
I know. That's why I was wondering who I pissed off, if it was just you or someone else.
Like old Italian man.
Chef's kiss.
Well. If there's nothing else, wait for your books. Study them if you'd like. You know they can't leave the room or the chamber. But we'll be in touch with any more employment opportunities.
Of course. Also, when did he get magic daggers? He's gonna motion to Kevin.
He's not my charge. I'm not responsible for him. You should
Well,
be taking that up with his handler.
I figured he would know, though. Okay.
And he sort of just like gestures around to like 30 other clerks that are just like him. Like, city of millions.
Fine.
Sorry.
I'll go ask his handler then. Where can I find his handler? This hour?
And just sort of, why don't you ask him? It's his handler.
Why don't you know everything? I thought you know everything.
I don't act like I know everything.
I know.
Yes.
I'm disappointed.
Yes. Sometimes even our own heroes have crimes.
Heroes.
One can wish.
Close enough. Anything else you need from me at the moment?
We'll be in touch.
I'll let you know if I hear anything interesting as I'm running around.
I hope you would.
You know how to get a hold of me, of course.
Yes, I do. Just sort of nods his head and like, I have work to do. And starts grabbing more papers off of the stacks.
Just
They're
nods.
probably about as tall as him. The books are brought to you. What are you looking for? Help me narrow down you're going to roll an intelligence check to peruse the books. What are you searching for?
Primarily recent events where the most recent ones have, like, where potentially they've been cited or seen or believed to have been.
Okay.
Or where Lady Amaro has popped up, if there's anything on her specifically.
Do we ever hear her name?
We learned it, I believe, because of his ridiculous intelligence check as Zareth. Because it was
I remember it was
the
something
finger.
cunt face.
That's more accurate.
So, you go ahead and roll just a straight intelligence check.
That's
Dude, that was
dangerous.
so long ago. That was back when we
Nope.
were all gaming.
That's 4 on the die, so yeah.
Yeah, nothing more than the
Computer. Like,
information
that was my
you already
COVID leave in
acquired
August
from
of like
Zareth.
2020.
Useless.
So it was like 13 months ago.
Disappointed. Just disappointed.
Yeah.
Hands the books back off. Slightly annoyed.
I need Zareth here.
Goes back to cabin.
Fuck you. Huh?
Goes back to cabin finally.
Oh, fuck you been?
Reading a book that gave me no information at all.
I didn't get to
It's
read
terrible.
a book.
Um,
Standing around looking at shit.
Should we go see your handler? I've got questions.
Yes. By the way, I do have to clarify just because I'm actually I'm forgetting part of my backstory. Is Dalvin my handler? Or
Dolben is technically, right?
Okay, yes, cool. Let's go see Dalvin.
I didn't get my ass chewed down. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. You're not getting in trouble. Where's the
Waiting
fun?
You
Turn
walk
on-
out of the boss's office like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not in trouble.
Yep. Waiting for a return on my investment, though, I'll be honest.
You didn't suck your dick? Kevin would not say that. Sorry. I gotta interrupt that. I was gonna go with that, and I was like, no, that's out of character.
So where would we find him? God, where do we
Good
find
question.
him?
Let me pray real quick.
You won't find him here.
Not here.
You know of a couple, like a couple taverns or like places that he collects information from. That if you probably swung through, you probably encounter him at some point.
Well, there are a few places.
Cool.
He's sort of a always on the move kind of character.
A free spirit, some would say.
But he has a rather predictable route.
Okay.
I guess on our way. I can't just ask you, when did you get fucking magical daggers? What the fuck, man?
Have Ryan not always had these?
No.
Oh, that's fucking crazy then.
Ooh, this dice is gonna be.
I was gone for a year. And then I come back and you're holding a magic dagger to my fucking throat.
I'm pretty sure I've had this. I've had this for a long time. This is nothing new.
I need you roll a deception check.
Is it a disadvantage because I know this fucking kid?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I thought it was a 1 at first.
That would have been funny.
Oh, it's better than I thought it was. With a disadvantage, it's a 16.
What's your passive insight?
I think actually it's lower than that.
Not very good.
I rolled a 24 and a 16. My deception is +7.
Oh, no. Actually,
Oh, I just realized I have expertise in it.
that would be why, yeah. No, it's a 12.
Yeah, then there's a moment of like,
Have I
He
just
always had
forgotten?
fuck, has he always had that?
Yeah.
You just gaslit a friend.
Yeah, no, now you see...
100% just gaslit. And
Yeah, now you see confusion, like...
Speaking of which, didn't know that was an actual movie.
Huh? Okay.
Huh.
there's definitely that moment of,
So
like, you see
The
Jet do
term
the whole, like,
gaslighting comes from a movie called Gaslight, 1944.
Like, trying to
where a
remember.
husband
He's trying to recall
makes
when
his
he's
wife
seen you
think
with
he's
it.
starting,
she's
like,
going
he's starting to
crazy
rethink
by
a whole
making
bunch
her,
of shit right
like,
now.
My life
thinks
is a
that she's
lie!
confused about
Pretty
it.
much.
Did not know that.
Gaslight, 1944.
Mm.
Found that out from SNL this week.
You still never
I was
answered me
watching
about when
SNL
you were
this week,
fucking
and I was
drinking.
like, no.
That's
I was
never-
like,
Why?
That's what all you adults do.
Are you an adult now? Like, seriously, actually, that's a serious question due to the fact that your aging is so fucking weird in comparison to mine.
I did not.
Alright.
I am.
I am still a child.
So what do you think of first time reading that thing? At the hub?
Oh, that was pretty cool. There's a lot of cool shit. It looks all like secretive and shit.
Sometime I'll teach you the route.
Hell yeah.
What all have you been doing for the vow? You said you were running some notes.
That's more like what I've been doing. I've been doing some favors.
I mean, if you stay them tip to tip, just make sure everybody's the same height, so that way you can get the same.
Hey,
They just
we
haven't-
told you, no more hand jobs in the bathroom.
Did you come in my burrito?
You're quoting a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
very confused.
I'm quoting horrible bosses.
I was quoting It's Always Sunny.
Nice.
No,
I was quoting Silicon
no,
Valley.
I
just have
know
to do
that.
a
I
lot of
appreciate
like
that.
little
That's
stuff.
one of my favorite scenes in the
Yeah, just like random odd jobs for people. Nothing
That was
exciting.
easily the
Nothing
best
too
scene of the
exciting, I
entire
should
first
say.
season. That's the thing that got me to watch the show.
I get to meet exciting people, but just kind of a background role. Trying to learn what I can learn here and there, pick up what I can. You know me. Keep to myself most of the time.
Oh yeah. Maybe when you're a bit older.
Do what?
Maybe when you're a bit older, they'll send you off to have fun adventures like me.
There we go. That'd be fun.
Sometimes it is. I mean, if you count almost dying multiple times on a run. That's
On
fun.
one run?
Yes.
I was trying to read your shirt before you put your sweatshirt
It's
on.
not you, it's
I'm trying to
memes.
find my DILF shirt, but
Gilf?
Dilf.
Oh.
It says Dilf in big letters across the top, and it's got a bunch of frogs over it. It says, "Damn, I love frogs." And then there's another one that I want to get for her that says MILF, and it says, "Man, I love felines," and it's just cats all over the
That's a shirt.
That's beautiful.
Gotta order that one real
The
quick.
website,
I know.
the website is, unofficial plug for teenhearts.com.
That's the whole website?
Teenhearts.com.
Oh, okay. It's like
Unofficial plug for teenhearts.com.
that's a very. Dude.
So long
It's
as
not
we
gonna
have
send
this
me
like,
anywhere
it's fine.
weird that I'm gonna get on an FBI list.
Cupcake is like, fuck you.
So,
Cook is like, bruh.
shall we find Dobin or head back?
Ah, got it. $13. That's not
I'm
bad.
fine either way.
There you go.
It's a good Valentine's Day gift.
I'm just not sure when we'll have time again.
In my hand.
Let's go see Dolphin.
So we'll go see Dolphin real quick if we can find him.
Yeah. It takes a couple stops. But you know his regular haunts well enough that you sort of guide Jet to a couple of different taverns, and it's like the third stop. You just sort of like literally, the first one you just pop your head in and you do the nope, not here, and move on to the next one. But at the third one, you stumble across him, half elven, sitting at the bar.
My kind of guy.
You recognize the like the red overcoat that he wears with the sort of like the sort of high V collar, and you can see him just sort of sitting. Bye. Have fun. Sure. Just what I need. More caffeine.
Rockstar.
You're DMing. That's when you need caffeine.
Be a rockstar.
Sitting at the end of the bar, where the bar sort of meets the wall, back into the corner,
little bit.
sort of sitting there having a conversation with the barkeep, and just sort of, has their eye on him. Would honestly not be out of place as a bouncer. Definitely has that look of like they sort of work there, conversing with the owner. They have a tankard in front of them, but sort of scanning the room. You see him having a hushed conversation with the barkeep, and then as his eyes sort of swivel the room, you see him sweep across you guys, and then come right back to you. And you just see a smile spread across the lips.
I want to run and just give him a hug.
He is still a little, like, definitely distant, like, reluctant father figure,
yeah.
But doesn't, like, yeah,
the whole,
okay,
like...
okay, yeah, cool, that's cool, okay, yeah.
God, I hate kids.
Does this whole side hug thing.
Christian side hug, leave room for Jesus.
Run and he just punched him in the face right as I get up to him.
What are you doing here?
Jet wanted to come and say hi.
How did you get out of Underlook?
I walked out with my feet.
The district's under quarantine.
Were we in? We weren't in Underlook.
We were in Underlook, we left, and then it got quarantined. We literally had left that
We
day.
literally walked out
left that day.
just in
Were
time.
you asking a member of the Veil how he escaped a quarantine? You taught me better than that.
Please tell me Jet's close enough to hear this.
I did teach you better than that. And yet I'm still curious as to how you did it.
We walked out.
Trying to make it more grandiose than it really was.
Okay. Your friend?
That's Jet.
Been a while.
It has. How did you two meet this time before I even knew you were back in the city?
You didn't know it was that. Really?
You're sleeping.
And you see that glare at you of why would you say that? And there's also that little undertone of how does he know? Well, okay, so you walked out of Underlook. Why are you here? What's going on?
We were meeting people in the Veil. We had to have a meeting.
What do you know? What's going on inside the district?
You mean in Underlook?
Honestly, don't know yet.
You mean in Underlook? We're gonna head back. Find out. Because we know there's some sort of sickness, but outside of that, what's causing it?
Jet needed to be his handler, so we needed to handle that before we figured out what was going on.
The handler needed to handle things.
Who would have thought?
I would laugh and I just go, I don't get it.
So you're going back into the district.
That's our plan, yes.
Okay.
To figure out what we can about this sickness, how it's spreading. Of course.
Sorry. South Park did a full orchestra.
Oh yeah, they've done 4 songs so far.
Okay.
They're all great.
Potential cures, things along that line. That's kind of what we're trying to figure out.
I don't know much about it, but what I've heard from my connections is the Boramars and the Dask are both warning to stay away from Fallen, which is, you would recognize that it's one of the lower districts.
Okay.
One of the lower wards.
But why?
Fallen. So, quick history, just general knowledge, because everybody in the city would know about Fallen. When the city was first being built, Fallen used to be known as God's Gate.
Okay.
And it was one of the higher end districts. Religious district, had temples for all the major religions. Was rather grandiose and upscale, but during the War of the Mark, when the different houses came knocking at Sharn, there were two people. There was the name is eluding me right now. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Sorry, guys.
We don't expect you to know everything.
I do.
We mostly don't expect you to know.
The Fallen District in Lower Dura was once known as God's Gate. When the first towers were raised, God's Gate was the Temple District. It had shrines and statues dedicated to the sovereigns, the proud Church of the Silver Flame, even a monument to the undying court of Arenal. But as Sharn grew and prospered, religious services were moved to grander temples in the upper wards. God's Gate became a tenement district, and the shrines and monuments were forgotten and left to decay. The final blow to this once proud district came early in the last war. A team of Ondarian saboteurs brought down one of Sharn's floating towers, and the falling spire struck God's Gate. Buildings collapsed and hundreds died. Untended corpses led to infection and disease. The city council had no interest in sinking gold into Lower Dura to restore the area, and thus the district was abandoned. Today, the district known as Fallen is strewn with the rubble of the fallen tower, mingled with shattered buildings and broken statues. Those who venture into Fallen must deal with the Ravers, feral savages that lurk in the shadows. There's no question that the Ravers exist, but their true nature remains a subject of much debate. A common hypothesis is that they're the descendants of the original inhabitants of the district who were possessed and driven mad by the ghosts of those who died when the tower fell.
Sounds badass.
So that's the history. That's the basic history of Fallen.
Okay.
Is that you're saying Fallen?
Fallen.
Okay.
Fallen.
Cool.
We've heard communications within the organizations telling those in their employ to steer clear, stay away. So
Why is that?
more so than normal. You don't go into Fallen unless you're looking to hide,
Right.
to not be found. But for them to steer clear of it even more than normal, it's interesting.
It was mentioned that the Ravers were moving further out from their typical.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Is that possible? Do you think they're spreading something?
It could be,
Could
but
that be with the sickness under Lucas?
they've also been getting
Possibly.
restless with the city watch having a lower presence in the area due to the garrison becoming infected. It wouldn't surprise me if with the lowered patrols the Ravers are starting to venture further out looking for food.
Which garrison did you say this was for the City Watch?
The garrison
That's
in
the one.
Precarious District. It's probably the largest of the City Watch's garrisons in Lower Dura. But they've been recently struggling with staff shortages due to a unknown pandemic.
I was gonna say the same thing, but I was real quiet.
Wow, it's relatable.
Good to know. At least gives us a starting point.
Quick out of character question, because maps and we are already in Middle Dura, correct?
Yes.
Affirmative.
And then they're talking about Lower Dura.
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
And Underlook is in Lower Dura, correct? No.
Underlook is it's classified as Middle Dura,
Okay.
but it is right on the
On the
border.
edge. Okay.
The cusp.
Okay. That's what I was trying to make sure if it was actually in Lower or if it was part of Middle.
Yeah, it's like right there on that borderline.
Okay.
Awesome. That was the thing.
Well, gives us a starting point, I think. But first, getting back in.
That'd be easy. Do you think the mayor knows? Is it mayor that we met? Who was it that we
Ex-mayor.
met? The
Alder Ames.
no, I'm talking about the. That's the ex-mayor.
Alder
No.
Ames is the current mayor.
Alder Ames is
Okay.
the newly elected mayor.
That's what I'm talking about.
You're talking
Do you think he
Shandi?
knows? No, I'm talking about the current guy.
Yeah, Alder Ames.
Do you think he knows?
Knows about the sickness, of course, but knows about the ravers? Probably. Or knows something else that you're going to.
No, that's right.
No, about this.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was the one giving out potions to people.
Bubbles.
But clearly he's lost control of the situation.
Obviously.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be quarantined.
Well, if you're venturing back in there, be safe. You might disagree with a lot of what the City Watch does, but when they place a district on a quarantine, a whole district, something's up. Can't be safe.
We aim to find out what's up.
Just be careful.
Of course.
We will.
Really like to avoid paperwork. Incident reports are my least favorite kind.
I've gotten a few of those.
I know. Because trust me, I hear about it. You don't hear about mine, though.
But, is there anything else I can help you with?
Has he always had magic daggers?
And you see a moment of, wait, he's serious. And he just looks at you.
Fat foreign. And I'll just turn to walk away, start walking away.
Fat farm?
Fair foreign.
Oh.
Fair foreign means
Yeah.
farewell.
Yeah.
Sure.
What the fuck did he just say to me?
Huh?
Yeah, just being what the fuck?
He's
Yeah, I'm walking to the
Yeah,
door.
his own person.
Bye, Dalvin.
I know, I've been around him quite a bit.
It takes patience.
That's why I picked you. That's why I picked you, to help him.
He just picks up the tankard while he just keeps muttering patience. Patience.
Again, why I picked you to help him.
Yes, yes. If you need my assistance, you know where to find me.
Of course.
Oh, I forgot also. Before I leave, I'm going to turn around and come back. Because I forgot I had something for Dolan.
Dolan Duck.
No.
Dolan.
So the Drasco healing drought, I'm going to sit on the table and go, I picked this up for you. Don't get sick. Bye. I'm just going to walk away.
The one that was acquired from the crates?
Yeah.
Okay.
I literally picked that up specifically for Dalvin. I said,
Oh.
It's kind of funny, you're gonna give it to him and he's gonna fucking drink it and die.
I fucking hope not.
I was gonna say, shit, now you're making me second guess whether I should ever drink mine or not.
I'm going to go in here. Do I
That's actually what spreads the sickness.
I don't have like a character sheet for this guy.
It's all a conspiracy.
I need to at least mark down that he now has an extra healing potion.
The big bad is some guy
What if-
named Q,
What
but
if
he's
something
anonymous.
happens and you
And
guys
then he
get into a
goes
fight
through.
and Dalvin's there? Like, I'd like to know that Dalvin has. Dalvin?
Do I just hit delete on here?
Yes.
Does that remove it from mine?
Yes.
I didn't want to like delete the custom item you
Delete,
created.
delete.
So I knew you created a custom item. I didn't want to like screw that up. Delete it off everybody's. I just removed my 2 gold.
Where'd mine go? No, I'm kidding.
I was like, well, tough titties. Depends what breaks first. Me? Or the titty?
Jet will offer his arm to Dalbanino.
Shakes it.
Have a good one, Dalban. Take care of yourself.
Bye.
The brags. Give it up, give it up.
That would be such a fun one. And then Jet's gonna walk off. Just.
And you just hear a sigh, and then the last couple chugs of the tankard, and then the tankard hits the countertop.
I think he likes you.
Do what?
I think he likes you.
He loves me.
Jet will whisper that as they walk out.
I see everything through like tinted glass, rose tinted glasses of just like.
Is there anything else you guys wish to do, or are you returning back to?
Returning back to the group.
Okay.
Jet just wanted to touch base, try to figure out as much information as he could,
We can go ahead and break for control.
and hopefully not get chewed out.
You know, when you look at somebody through rose tinted glasses, all the red flags just look like flags. I completely stole that from BoJack. I have to give credit where
That was good.
That's fantastic.
That was fucking amazing.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, let's go ahead and break for intermission here.
All right.
I thought my dad was stealing construction signs, but when I came home, signs were up.
That's a good dad joke too.
that one right in my head.
He saw the construction signs when they got home. The signs were all there.
Or rather, I think of the original.
I thought he said those signs were all gone.
Their signs were up. As like my dad, I thought my dad was stealing from work, and he works on a construction site. When I got home, the signs were all there. The original version.
All right. We are officially at BRB and mute. Now we have audio in our official live.
Yeah, yo!
This one. Cool.
That was a lot.
Let's go focus.
More caffeine.
Rufio! Rufio!
Wait, you have caffeine? I might need some.
Rufio!
This game looks like a tight version of Skyrim is
Yeah, Nick.
online. It has jousting tournaments.
That sounds fun.
I'm gonna say just because I looked it up. Sony is 136 billion. Tencent is 570 billion. Microsoft is 2.24 billion or trillion. Excuse me.
Jesus.
That's all?
Microsoft is a massive market cap.
You know why?
That's why I'm saying Microsoft has.
Probably all those people that got the vaccine and are currently being mind controlled to buy all Microsoft products.
That's valid.
Yeah,
It's valid.
1,000%.
No, that's the thing though. Is like I was saying, Microsoft's not just a video game company. Microsoft is the #1 leading computer company in the world.
Exactly. And vaccine creator company, thanks to Bill
Monopoly's a game. I'm just trying to control the fucking world,
I
Senator.
love that.
You
Robin
wonder,
Williams.
why there's a chip
Is that a
shortage for
Robin
graphics
Williams?
cards.
Yes, that was a Robin Williams joke. Nice.
Yeah, to use that technology to put in our arms, man.
Yeah, that's why there's a chip
I
shortage.
think it was the
All I know, though,
inflection
is,
that got me. I was like, that sounds like
What I
what
don't understand is there's
Dude,
they want
Robin
to
Williams
open up
level
a
Robin
Dude,
chip
oh,
factory
these
in
things I have
Ohio.
ever seen in my life.
And everyone's like, oh, the problem
I
is we just need to get more
drunk
chips
quoted
being
that through
made.
my
And I was
sophomore
like,
year
yeah,
of college.
I'm out,
sure,
I'm
that's
in,
part of
I'm
the
out,
issue.
I'm
The
in,
other
I'm out,
issue
I'm
is
in.
there's
Like,
nobody
in
actually
Ash.
gathering the resources
My
to
favorite
make
one
the
to quote
chips
was the
because
Scottish
we
Golf.
don't have anywhere in this
Oh,
country
dude.
that we actually find the resource. Like, all that shit's overseas. And they were like, the problem is we can't trust
so,
other countries to be building
there
our
was
chips.
a
We need to do
character
it
I used to
ourselves.
play in a
I was just
7C
like,
game,
we don't have the fucking
where I
resources to
was,
do
Also,
it.
we
like,
never built
I
our
was,
own shit.
no, it wasn't the 7C
It's
game.
always
It was
been,
Sea of Thieves?
imported.
No,
Yeah.
there was another.
But, like, most of the
tabletop
minerals that
role-playing
are
game,
used for that is in, like,
Harmaster.
Indonesia.
I was a Scottish
Like,
guy in our Harmaster game,
We
and
don't
so
have,
like,
like,
in order to get into
my
that
mines
accent,
here in
My
the
dad
US
was
have.
telling me
I
that
would
he
literally
works
quote
Nice.
that entire
it
thing
is
of Robin Williams playing golf, and I was
pharmaceutical
in
benefits,
that
much on here.
So,
the
He's talking
the Scottish
about,
accent.
Hey,
100% of the time.
Tell him
Has
what. Tell
a
him what your
customer
code word is to
that
get into the
part of
Jordan
their
von
product that
Strangle
they
accent.
service
The
Or
what?
the Arnold
has a certain
Schwarzenegger.
Oh
amount of
no! So
40
like every time
He
I'm
said
trying to get
it's
into
literally
an
a circuit board that's
accent,
like
like there's a
this
specific phrase I have to
It's
like
weird to look
watch
at.
talk about, and like that's what gets
That's the
me.
jumping
in-
on point.
Yeah. So for Scottish accent, it's golf from the Robin Williams, but for an Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jorgen von Strangle, it's
That works.
Just,
get to the chopper,
Get down! Get down!
get down again.
Who is that guy? Pablo
that is
Francisco?
Pablo Francisco.
God, that's a name I haven't heard in so long.
I was saved by the lesbian-looking Pablo Francisco. Little tortilla boy.
Alright, so we come
Was that
back
Pablo
to
Francisco?
the
That
session
was like Frank
with
Caliendo.
Vale,
Could have sworn that was
Ryn,
Frank
and
Caliendo.
V sitting in the Golden Dragon Inn, basically by themselves. A few hours have passed. A few more patrons have begun to filter in as the day shift workers begin to
Oh, yeah.
leave their jobs and head out for their normal
is a new
after
one.
shift. Oh, god damn, bro.
She's like, what?
Oh, claws right in the side of the stomach.
He's like, what?
Uh,
Get over it. It's comfy.
They begin to leave their day shift
You see a little face popping up.
and going out for their after shift refreshments. But the bar is not busy, it is not full by any means, and you see Jet and Cabin re-enter into the building about 3 hours after they'd left.
How do they look?
How do you look?
War torn to meat.
Perception check.
No, do you see? Well, because you said that you didn't get yelled at. So, are you stressed? Are you like pep in step?
More so
Step in time?
just more relaxed than you last saw him.
Okay. V's not gonna do anything then. V's just gonna sit there, giving Ryn her like sick juice, wondering when she's gonna have to pee.
Little kid bladder. Never.
Exactly.
Some of the juice might have been set out a little too long and started to ferment. Listen here, guys.
We're gonna do this thing.
No, V would not let her have alcohol without Jet present.
No, what I'm saying is like they accidentally just left it out and it started
Oh.
fermenting, and they were just like, nobody orders
Been
juice.
left
So they're
out
like,
for a long
fuck, we're
time.
running out of juice. Oh, we got something that was sitting outside.
Flies buzzing all over the casket.
It's fine, they'll pay for it.
We got some Hornthal outside.
Oh, hello.
You guys are back.
Oh, indeed.
What'd you find out?
Well, I'm thinking on how we can get in. I think we probably have a way, don't you think, Captain?
Well, maybe we could figure something out. Again, we snuck out of here, no problem.
Right. Should be simple enough, so... At least a way in. And... possibly a lead on what might be causing it.
That's wonderful. Well, let's go. I mean, I feel like I kind of gesture towards the empty bar of the one person who's passed out and the other person who's really, I feel like this really isn't my audience. They're not really very receptive to the songs I was trying to sing.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, I missed a lot of spirits already.
I agree. Which is, I think, why we should head back.
Val, you ready to go?
Yeah, how drunk are you? It's been 3 hours.
No,
That's a great question.
I'm good.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure how much.
I'm just gonna hop off the chair that I was standing on while I was trying to perform.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Sure.
We got this.
You hesitated.
I mean, I'm always a little.
Feeling alright? Little buzzed?
I mean, I'm feeling good.
Can I try to figure out how drunk he is right now?
Go for it.
What's your passive? Are you gonna do an active insight?
Yeah.
Active insight.
Natural 20.
Again?
I mean,
What
You
is
rolled
it?
two
Plus
Yeah.
natural 20s
let's
tonight.
let's see.
20 plus what? What's your insight?
2.
It's just plus 2?
It's a +2, it sucks. It's 1.
22.
You know what? Let's do 2 d6s to figure out how many drinks I've had.
12.
I was expecting the same thing.
Okay.
I would die if it
I
was
think there's
12.
So-
there's gonna be some con saves involved.
I was gonna say I'm forcing myself to make a con save at that point.
How
I'm at-
many
I'm
did
at-
you have
I'm at 8 drinks.
in 3 hours?
I mean,
Depending on what it
It's
is.
2.5 drinks an hour. You're not. I mean, you got a
But-
buzz.
yeah, but I was
You're also a hardcore alcoholic.
But-
So your
true,
system
true,
is
true. Like
prepared.
What
my
depends on
con
what
save
you
was a
drink, too.
16.
Right.
Like
Okay.
I'm
You're not drunk.
I'm good. I'm
You're
good.
not drunk. There's no.
No, I'm
negative
just
effects on your character.
I'm good.
Normal.
Okay.
I'm Gucci.
Little burp.
Why don't you go?
I feel like this crowd was not receptive to I've got fiends in low places.
Jesus.
I think we need to.
I enjoyed your performance.
Thank you. I thought it was an original. I was trying to just capture some things and just not come across.
It's almost like I've heard that one before, though.
I seriously think this wasn't your target audience. with that
We need to
one,
get back to Thalana Spirits. They really liked me there.
though. They did. I will say these aren't the kind of like if you made these people happy. I mean, you would have had to do something extraordinary. Not that you weren't doing.
Yeah,
anything
Jet
good,
kind of gives you like a.
But I mean, like,
kind of look.
but I mean, like, these are not the kind of people that you would probably want to make really happy. You know?
You know what? They just don't understand my art.
Exactly.
And I just hop off the stool and I chin up high.
I'm very
Walk-
much imagining a 12-year-old girl looking at like the 3 people in the bar. And like, uncultured filth.
Yes. Swine.
Yeah.
Flops her hair backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I whip my
Hair-
hair back
hair
and forth.
flip.
I whip my hair back and forth.
We're workshopping that one.
Please don't.
I know.
Don't know art when it's standing right in front of you. And I walk out. Jet, where are we going?
Thalana Spirits.
Well, let's go. Hopefully past that barricade.
This song stuff really familiar.
That's the goal.
Toss a coin to your Warforged.
It's actually toss a
V,
coin.
stop trying to get money.
It's
Oh,
toss a
okay,
coin to
fine.
your fighter. Because you want to.
It's just generic.
Who?
Because of good
yeah,
to.
yeah.
Toss a coin to
I
your fighter.
thought this could have been one of the ones that was like from a soundtrack or something, but
Fuck. Yeah, I think we're headed towards Thalana Spirits, the
Sounds like
back
something
way, because trying to figure out how we can get through this barricade without causing problems.
Okay. There are multiple ways in. There's obviously the main bridges, and then you have used a couple more hidden routes in your time, but a lot of those are dangerous, and you know, built for someone with your agility. So
Agile. I need some work.
So I mean, you can take any number of those routes. There's one that would, one that is sort of, rather than bridges, it's more so like it's almost like parkouring from
Parkour.
like sort of underneath the bridge that you were initially trying to cross. There's like, they're not bridges, but they're more like aqueducts and pipes that connect the different towers. And there's a couple of those very like. If you've seen Arcane, very much like when they're sort of transitioning from upper Piltover down to the lanes. There's those scenes of them sort of going from rooftop to pipes to scaffolding to rooftops to.
There's pathways in there that they knew that not many did.
Exactly. There's a couple routes like that. There are also routes from like if you were to navigate to an up like a higher up district. There are other ways down into Underlook that are a little bit riskier, but with a higher chance of. I shouldn't say a higher chance of success. They're riskier, but you're guaranteed to get in. It just might not be.
How you plan to?
Hit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, something that you would do yourself. That like if it weren't for the rest of the group, and also you don't want to
Jet's
endanger.
thinking, more.
You don't want to endanger those two, but something you would do yourself is you would just go acquire a Featherfall token, find somewhere high and jump.
Yep.
Well.
Yeah, I was gonna say we.
And then you basically
Just getting flashbacks to you and me and the original Eberron one shot.
Token
I was
and
like Assassin's Creed.
Which we have.
We do have plenty, although.
But that's something you are like, you think about it and you're like, I have 2 children with me. No.
I feel like he's probably actually done that with Cabin, but for shits and giggles.
So the area we're trying to get to, you say using bridges to get
I
to.
know that, don't I?
Are there any areas
That's right.
where
I'm ruling it because I spent so much time.
I would be able to
kind
kinda like
that I've
like you said, kind of like parkour in and kind of do
Not
some
really.
recon on the other side and try to
osmosis,
communicate
but,
back to them.
I've looked at
Maybe
it
an easier way to get
had
through
it
from the
with me
other
for
side.
so long that I kind of figured out the magic
Okay.
that is inside of it, and I've been able to
Yeah.
extract the spell.
I would like to stealthily
Basically, all of Ryn's
parkour
spells
over
are
a
something
wall
that she has either
to.
Well,
been
it's going to be a
surrounded by
series
or
of checks.
seen.
Okay, yeah.
Because it is a.
So like Featherfall.
But I mean, I'm trying to do it
is
in
one
a
of them
stealthful,
just because
like
You're gonna
stealthy
just
way
been
that
around
I'm
the
not.
token so
I'm not trying to
long.
get
Required.
seen by the guards because I know that there's like guards and stuff there, so I know there's at
Oh,
least
I've not had
a stealth
these.
check plus
Yeah.
multiple dex checks. But
With Jet's assistance, you can find sort of one of the routes that he has taken.
Mhm.
So to start, make a stealth check just to say it's going to be a general stealth check for the whole maneuver.
Wait, what did she do? I heard with Jet's help.
I'm going to. You're pointing out an area where it would probably be easier for me to get in through. I'm going to try to stealth and parkour my way over a wall so that way I can kind of do recon from the other side to let you guys know what would be an easier way to get through. Eyes
So
on the
you're
other side.
basically sort of like you've pointed out, like you've led the party to one of these pathways that you've used in the past, and
Okay.
you're sort of sitting there and you're like pointing out the pathway, and you're like, 2 kids, a warforged, and then Vale just sort of is like, oh, you mean from there to there to there to there to there? Cool.
So you're mapping out the route.
His trench coat flows in the wind as he.
So my stealth check is a 27.
So he disappears appears in front of us.
So do
Oh, no. Back up. No, not Cass.
Back up.
Vale, not Cass. Wrong character. Back up.
Castiel?
What character?
Castiel Valmont
From
from
Sar.
Death of a Sar.
Damn.
Yeah.
Uh,
I meant like I swiped to go back to my attributes instead of my skills, and when I swiped back, it backed
Switch characters.
up. No, it backed up a full page,
Oh.
and so I was like, oh no, Vale. And when I went to do it, it reformatted the page, and where Vale was Cass,
Mhm.
and then it clicked. I was like, oh nope, not that one.
acrobatics check.
16.
Okay. There's a point where you make a jump, and as you do, you're landing on what looks like sort of like a corrugated tin roof of a small like overhang off of one of the towers. You land on it, and your foot hits like a rusted spot and starts to pass through the roof. And you manage to stop and catch yourself before you slide, and you sort of like reposition your weight and vault off of it down to a lower scaffold. And it takes you a minute, but considering you're trying to be quiet and not draw attention, you do eventually manage to find your way to what you would probably consider to be underlook.
Okay.
Are we all watching him do that? Like we can map-
You watched like the first 3 jumps, and then he's starting to get lost behind other pieces of infrastructure, and so after about the 3rd or 4th jump, you start to lose it, especially with his stealth roll, because he's trying to make himself not seen.
Well, that was very impressive, but I don't see how that helps us. I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, that was my concern.
Also forgetting that Cass is my character that actually has message. Oops!
I wasn't gonna say anything because I was like, I really wonder where he's gonna, like, how he's gonna.
I was gonna cast message and be like, oh, hey, this thing, but then I was like, wait a minute, I don't have message on this character.
So Vale,
Hey,
Vale
you
is now
guys!
in the district.
Well, good for him.
Does anybody have message that they can cast to me? Because I can respond to message.
I have my
100
regular,
feet,
are
but
you
I don't
within
know how
30
far
feet?
this bridge is. That's what I thought.
Is message only 30 feet?
100.
Oh, I thought it was 30 feet.
No, it's 100.
Yeah.
What's my telekinesis? Telepathic?
Telepathic link might only be 30 feet.
You don't have
Hold
message?
on.
Detect thoughts is 30 feet.
Message
Maybe that's what I'm thinking
is 120 feet.
Oh, sorry.
Still farther,
Get it
though,
right.
Trying to steal 20 feet from you.
Not.
That's a lot of feet.
It's a feet. Where's my feet? There they are.
Feets? Foots?
Feet and levels?
No, it's.
Proud foots?
Proud feet.
Where is it? I can telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet.
So you don't have message?
I don't have regular message. Don't
Right.
take it for that. I have sending. But that burns a spell slot.
Yeah.
That it does.
Oh, wait,
You have the
very
rock.
excited about something.
Didn't we
Sending's-
get the
I gave that to Barton.
Barton?
Barton, excuse me.
Barton?
Barton.
Barton's out
Barton, you
hunting
get in
again.
here right now.
Get Barton out of the creek. He needs to come home.
Damn it, boy, you splashing around in the creek again.
That goes up to your kneecap, Barton. Get the hell out of there.
You don't know what's in your water, boy. Could be some of them alligators.
Oh, no, I do have a speaking stone.
I thought you did. I thought
Ascending stone.
I have a speaking stone.
Speaking stone.
What?
I don't know what the difference is.
Key to long distance,
We've got
virtually
different
instantaneous
stones.
communication
Two,
with
who has the other
incorporated-
one?
Yeah, who has the other one?
We
If
bought
you
it-
remember
hold
many
on,
sessions
hold on,
ago,
hold on,
I said
hold on.
that I was going to stop tracking your all.
Didn't you give it
No,
to your
hold
sister?
on.
Yeah.
You're right. I did give it to my sister.
I was gonna say I knew we got more stones.
Yep. Because I bought 2 stones. I gave one to my sister. That way I can still communicate with my sister. Right. My bad.
Give her a call. Say hi.
Fuck it. Hey sis, what's up?
the recipient you're trying to reach is currently unavailable.
That's what we're rolling for. That's a natural 1, my friend. She doesn't pick up.
Are you pooping?
It's more of a you sneak into the stone and you wait. You wait. Like 3 or 4 minutes passes and you still don't get a response.
Cool. Valid, I deserve that. Alright,
Gavin, do you think you might be able to follow and see the path he took and then communicate back with us about...
I think his is only 30 feet as well. What's your character's
trying to actually remember?
I think it's
he keeps it on
as a soul knife. I think it's longer.
Yeah, I think you're right. But the only difference being he has to cast it on somebody and it stays that way.
I'm trying to read it.
That's fine. You can
Oh
reconnect with me.
shit!
What?
So we have to be within 1 mile.
Yeah.
And I can cast on up to 3 people at the same time.
There you go.
What's the
1,
duration?
2, 3.
For whatever I roll.
Okay.
It's
You
up
roll-
to
How many-
8 hours.
How many times can you use it?
I can use it twice per long rest.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say you have another
The first
use.
time, I was gonna say the first time
You
I use it does
expend-
not expend.
Yeah, you can expend a die this time to recast the link.
Yeah. Oh wait, I forgot. Hold on, that's the other thing. Hold on. The first time you use this power, you say you do not expend this die. All other times you use the power, you expend the die.
I'll be back.
So can I only use it one day?
So you basically you can, as an action, choose up to 3 creatures. You can see, because it's your proficiency bonus, roll 1 of your psychic energy die for a number of hours equal to the number rolled. The chosen creatures can speak telepathically. Basically, you create a circle link depending on your proficiency bonus to...
Y'all become Borg hive mind.
Yeah, and then it is up to a mile. Basically, you probably should have done that before he bounced it
but-
off, but what's done is done.
Although I can use it as many times as I want, as long as I still have the psychic.
Does it have to be a creature you can see?
It does have to be a creature you can see.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and we can't see you. However, if he goes halfway,
Do you get those back on a short rest or a long
That's
rest?
what I'm trying to
In
look.
addition,
what
you
Jet would
regain...
suggest.
I don't see how I get die back.
Okay, hold on a second.
You get your dice back on a
Long rest.
law.
The other question is I don't know how many dice I have.
Long rest. But
Okay.
as a bonus action, you can regain 1 expended energy die, but you can't do so again until you finish a short long rest. So you can expend an energy die to do a psychic link, and you can get that energy die back on a short rest.
Oh, I have 6.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot. So you can expend 1 to do a link, and then you can do a short rest to get that back if you need to, but you'll still have 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So-
Well, and again, yeah, correct. Yeah.
Right. So you can expend it because you did it once today. You'll have to expend an energy die to create a link between yourself and 3 creatures.
While all this discussion is going on, I'm on the other side of the wall going, I probably should have thought this through.
That is the motto of this campaign.
So should I go ahead and do it? Is that where the plan?
I mean, yeah, it makes
Well, I
sense.
mean, you saw how I got
You're-
across, so
we don't.
I feel like he now has seen the way he can roll his dexterity with advantage.
Well,
Hey God.
here's the thing. I rolled a really high stealth check.
I did.
He's used this pathway, I imagine, before, though, right?
Roll a history check.
No.
Ooh.
4.
Yeah.
Damn it! No.
That's what it's
No.
called.
It's all Greek to you.
Yeah, I rolled a 3, and I'm not. History is not a
He's
great.
not a
thing for me.
historian.
Not Zareth.
Yeah, hold on. Let me switch character sheets real quick. Reroll that.
So you can attempt it. It's just going to be a higher DC.
I'm dexterous as fuck.
Yeah, your stealth is a plus 10 instead
Are
of
you
plus 11,
going
right?
No.
to cast your mind link thing
plus
before you?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so you can
So
roll
we
your
have a
stealth,
communication
which
line?
should be good.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be
Well,
rolling
I
your
guess the question is,
athletics
how familiar
with a higher
is he
DC,
with-
or not
was-
athletics,
was
acrobatics.
the link that he created with you the first time he's ever done it? Is
I
he
think
still
so.
learning the
It's
ropes?
the first time I've done it to Jet.
Yeah, I was gonna say to Jet, definitely, but
Yeah, it's not the first time he's done it. He's not a virgin.
Are you
Okay,
sure?
I'm getting confused as to what I'm rolling
Emo.
now.
You roll
Roll-
your
So
am I rolling a
energy.
stealth check?
Yes, you're gonna roll stealth
Well,
check.
Well, first off, if you want to create a link, you have to use your psychic energy
That's what I'm
die,
saying. So am I
which
doing that
is
first before I?
that would make sense so that you can communicate with Jet.
at
yeah.
level 5
Oh, yeah, 'cause
it's
I
a
have to be able to
D8.
see you.
You're gonna roll a D8,
Correct.
and you're gonna choose 3 creatures.
Who all is still here?
1,
Those
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
You plus 3.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll just link all of us.
Oh
May
god.
not be a great.
Oh
May
god.
not be a great idea. Okay, I'm gonna roll it
Oh no. Oh no. Oh
for
no.
3 hours.
3 hours. There you go.
We are all linked together.
So, what?
Wieners and wine.
All 4 of us, and now our minds are all linked.
Roll
Oh,
a
no.
wisdom save.
I
Roll a
fucking
wisdom
forgot
save.
about that.
Oh.
You're gonna get some backlash. What's back feed?
Oh, it's
Feedback.
only a
Feedback.
plus 1.
No, something like that. It's gonna be bad. There's basically something for both of us where
9.
it's not good.
Okay.
12.
This is also the first time I've ever felt someone else in my brain, right? In this regard.
Not someone else. 3 others.
This is yeah,
Fair
this
point.
is this is yeah, this is different.
So go over
no
now
one's
level
gonna be able
10.
to do anything.
A level
You're
10, I
used to
could
doing the
just-
penetrating, not getting
I was gonna
penetrated.
say, at level 10, I could literally just say, no.
No, shut that down. Turn that shit off.
See what works. I'll take that as well.
Yeah, the book's not happy.
So it's cold. And all at once I'm getting emotional and psychic feedback from 3 other people. So B immediately recoils.
You, on the other hand, you make the connection to Ryn, and there's that sense of, you know, like it's like plugging a power cord in. Like the connection is there, and like you feel the connect. I shouldn't say power cord. It's like plugging the internet cable in.
I was
Oh,
gonna say
okay.
shit.
I
We
was
all
thinking
feel
you're
that
talking
though,
about
don't
the
Right,
we?
feedback
like-
of plugging
We're
it
Because
all
they're
connected.
Yeah, like
Oh,
the connection.
yeah.
The connection is there,
Well, he's the direct connector. He's
but
the
there
conduit.
is.
But still.
I was
He's
gonna
the
say that it
router,
connects us
guys.
all. Yeah.
Yeah, so like he is still also feeling this feedback, and he
He's-
is also
he's
feeling
the conduit.
You plug in and you get the connection, and there's a good third of Ryn that is just
this website is down.
yeah, solid
You're
brick,
Comcast, my guy.
solid brick wall.
Firewall.
Like there is a part of to you. You're used to getting that connection to someone's mind. There is a piece of her mind that is missing.
I'm telling you, this is the plot of Psychonauts.
So, in your head, I think this is gonna be interesting. You just hear what is happening, like what is happening.
And
I would
there's
imagine it
there is
echoes.
echoes.
And as soon as that starts echoing, that's all I'm
And
focusing on.
you both pick Jet and Ryn. You both pick up on the echoes of V saying.
Well, I was gonna
what's
say.
happening.
So reading this again, it actually sounds like it's just to him, and it's one way, this way, one way, this
Yeah,
way,
so is he
one
the
way,
router,
that
or
way.
are we all? Well, so
Because
He's
it's
a router.
yeah, he's the router. So we would all still be in connection with each other.
no,
that's
it,
what-
No,
you can't-
you can't reach through the through
We
the
can't-
conduit to
Oh
somebody
yeah,
else.
it
You
does say
can't-
I
you
can
can't
only
I
to
can
one
speak
other
to you, you
person.
speak to me. So I've got a bunch of voices in my head.
Yes.
You guys all just have.
You have 3 different. Oh God.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, so this is Imogen.
yeah. So we're
Yeah.
not all getting everything.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
all not getting everything.
Yeah, we're
Now
doing,
I'm following.
Okay.
Your brain
That's
is
what I
getting
wanted to
loud.
clarify, yeah, that I wanted to
guess
figure out.
I would hear the echo then as well. Oh, that's weird.
It's a feedback loop.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's terrible.
This is brilliant.
This is
So
cool.
what is happening?
Don't worry about it. If you need me, let me know. Off I go.
Blue's good, dude. We can too.
V just falls to his knee.
I'm just gonna give you some guidance before
You
you
can't focus.
before you like take off and your little howlings. I'll help you a little bit. I'll cast guidance on.
Jet is gonna hold on to B and keep him from falling anywhere near the bridge or the edge.
I'm gonna roll stealth also.
He's wobbly.
Yeah,
May as well be drunk.
he just wants to keep you away from the edge.
It is. It's like it right
Yeah.
temple.
It's
just
literally
behind, just
migraine
behind,
level.
Just
There
behind
we
the
go,
eye.
there we
It's
go.
like-
So the 9 on this die really looks like a goddamn 2.
It really does.
It does because it's the 9 and then it's got the line at the bottom,
Yeah.
so it looks like a 2.
Excuse me.
So I rolled a 20. Dirty 20.
On stealth.
Dirty 20.
with stealth.
Okay. Roll a acrobatics.
Is that with guidance or do you need guidance?
That does not include.
Oh, that
guidance.
does not include
Okay,
guidance.
roll a
So then
D4.
roll a d4 with you.
What?
your
Wait,
act-
or
Here's my
hold
thing,
off
do I
because
have
guidance?
once he uses the guidance, it's gone.
Guidance is on the next ability check, I believe, right?
that you.
Ah,
I
the
think you
next that you choose within the next however long until
Yeah, it lasts a
ends.
minute, so basically you can apply it to
Play
So
to
I was gonna
anything,
say,
which is
that
why
was
I'm
a-
saying
Hold on.
you did good on the
once
stealth.
before.
Use it on
Yeah,
That's what I'm
the.
saying. I'm going to use it on the acrobatics
Of its
check
choice.
right now.
Of its choice.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
do
going
your
to use it.
acrobatics. Use it on there.
Okay. Jesus Christ. 9 every time.
I mean,
And then a D4.
Yeah.
and then add a
So
D4.
that's 14,
16. Oh no.
Woo!
18.
Nice.
Okay.
I was thinking the same thing. The long jump.
Yeah, you
Nice.
you get the first like 3 or 4 jumps
And then fail.
following where Vale went, and then it's like the last like 3 jumps, he was out of your sight line. And so you get there and you sort of like you get to the 4th jump and you're like, okay. I'm gonna guess this way.
I immediately talk back to Jet. Where'd this dickhead go?
And so you keep like you
Would
make
we all
Up
do
your
that?
ass.
you make
No,
2
specifically
more,
I say to Jet. Because
You
it
make
does say
2
that I
more
can go
jumps.
through and like...
Okay.
and like you can actually sort of see the path that Vale took, and you can see where he jumped on the final one to make the landing into what looks like more stable ground and what would probably be within the district. And you make that final jump, and it sort of takes a second because you're still a kid and you're a halfling, so you have to sort of almost get like a little bit of a running start, and you make the leap, and about halfway through the leap, you realize it's a lot farther than you thought.
Wow.
And so you sort of you expected the landing to happen a little earlier, and you ended up free falling for a second. And when you hit the ground, you don't land as gracefully as you should, and you take 4 points of damage.
Cool. I'm going to talk back
You're
to...
sitting there, and you're basically just sort of twiddling your thumbs, like, I didn't think this through. And Kevin, like, damn near face plants. Hits the ground and skids like 12 inches, like face first into the dirt, and then
12
stops.
inches.
And as soon as I stopped, I talked to all 3 of you guys. Nailed it.
Because I'm the only
In
one
my
that
head,
knows
you
you
just
did.
said, stop.
Stop.
Glad you made it.
Glad you made it.
Well, the echo was me talking to him, which reverberated back to me, which was him talking to me. and me
Stop.
talking to him.
No.
So I don't know how the hell we're gonna do that. So while I'm dealing with this too, in your head you're just gonna hear what is happening.
I actually have no clue that connection was made. So
I told you all. I would have told you guys that's what we were doing.
Oh, that you connected to everyone else.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
To the 3 of you, not Vale. With the 3 of you.
So, Kevin's like you. He can talk to you in your mind. So he's talking to you in your mind.
Yeah, I'm hitting him right now.
Yes. Yes.
V, are you getting any of this?
It's just like if you
You
could
can see the pained expression.
Yeah.
There's like a visible pained expression of like,
Kevin, can you stop the link
ma-
to V? He's broken.
Yeah.
Very broken.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
Yeah.
blue screen of death.
Kevin, can you just maybe just the 2 of us
Maybe
drop V? He doesn't seem to enjoy it.
Alright, that was good.
What'd you say?
He's like blue screen of death. I was like, wouldn't you need a yellow screen of death?
Hey, there it is. And I actually think you can
Yeah, you're
drop
able to.
someone as an action.
You're correct. That's kind of correct.
Gavin, can you mentally walk us through the best way to do that for someone who's not as agile as yourself?
It's super simple. I mean, my God, come on, it's only like 9 jumps.
It's like the statement that comes across is just like oozing with disdain. Like, how could you not know this?
I'm gonna look at you and be like, as somebody who sucks at platforming, if I made it, just tell them it's easy.
Also, I will say, I'm going to send back to V before I cut off the connection.
D&D is the one place that Nick's good at platforming.
Hey!
This is exactly how I'm saying it. Take out reverb. This is how I'm saying it. I'm going to drop the link. And I'll drop it before you can even respond.
And it's like
I just hang up.
I
Don't even
just
give
popped just 4 ibuprofens, and the migraine is just.
Whoa.
I just like the idea of hanging up on him.
So who's going next?
V feels much better.
So,
Oh, by the way, I would have told them which direction all this, so that they know where
you
to
would have
go.
told them.
so I can
I reestablished the link.
polymorph you or V, and into a bird, and one of you can fly across.
Oh, that's definitely me.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah.
No, between boom and boom. Because
Even
if
understand.
he's not very dexterous, then polymorphing him would make more sense because then he can still make the jump.
Polymorph into a bird, one carries the other across.
How big,
And
of,
then
how
I
big
can-
of a bird can you transform
It's a pigeon.
into him?
Squab!
I mean, giant eagle. Generally does a.
Freedom!
That would be the. What about you?
How stealthy would that be,
couldn't the
though?
bird just carry both of us?
Potentially, yes.
Yeah, I'm very
Since you
small.
will,
I'm
The
very
giant
yes.
eagle actually has a
So it
pretty
makes-
decent stealth.
potentially, but if
Makes
not,
sense.
then I can.
Although,
I've done this
wouldn't
before.
someone notice a big bird flying through the district? Isn't the kind of the purpose to be a little bit under the?
Potentially could do an owl. Their
Big-
wings are silent. Hard to hunt.
True. Oh, I'll turn him into big owl.
Do you have anything that can shrink them?
Not minimal. Would
Cold shower.
That's a high five too. That's great. That was a good one.
Dexterity plus 3.
I'm gonna communicate to Gavin. Gavin, about how
Giant eagle.
what's the distance between here and the platform that you landed on?
It's only like 80 feet.
We go to.
On the north side of 100.
Jesus, is it really? Wait, what?
The total distance you covered between
Total
all your
distance.
jumps.
I thought you said between jumps. I was like, how the fuck did I make that?
Yeah, the total distance is on the north side of 100.
I have my feather fall thing too, just in case.
Heavier. Carry light one.
That's what I was thinking. Giant owl for V, then carry, and then if
How
V
many
can
times can you cast a spell that loud?
only once, so
It
it would
does-
have to
it
be a
does seem-
quick.
Does seem like a giant waste. Although I think it falls, so
When we're talking about potential death.
true. True.
V's very confused about all of this.
We're talking about turning you into a giant owl.
I heard you.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure you were following. You look confused.
Can I make a
I'm
perception
not.
check and make sure no guards are coming this way or anything like that with the little bit of a ruckus that we have more than likely. Oh my god.
Well, if it expedites things, I'm on board with it. Also, it's very
26.
You don't see any guards paying attention, but you do see a couple guards riding hippogriffs. That are sort of like on patrol around the different towers, just sort of keeping sky coaches from landing in the district or taking off from the district. But you do see a couple guards riding hippogriffs, but none that seem to be paying any peculiar attention.
Just to make sure I'd be like, Kevin, it's kind of hideout in this little shadow over here.
Which my thought, fly underneath the bridge, use the bridge as cover for anyone that would be looking down, and then pop up on the other side.
V, do you think you could do that if you were to be a giant owl?
Use the bridge for cover, stay under there, and then pop up on the other side. Set Rynny down.
I am not the giant owl.
No, but I
Not
can turn you
yet.
into a giant owl.
He just sits there and thinks, I've never been a giant owl before.
No, I don't think Ryn has either. You haven't, right? I've never turned you into anything.
Playing this exactly the way I know it in my head. But I have not been in it. How would I know?
So, I would have wings.
Yes. You would have wings, you'd be able to fly underneath the bridge. Keep a low profile. Owl's wings are silent so when they fly.
Would I have arms?
You will have wings, not arms. And talons.
He just kind of.
Okay, well don't jump right now.
Why giant eagle instead of giant eagle?
Will you do it for me, V?
Stealth. Higher stealth.
So,
Giant eagles
I will be
4,
giant owl.
+2.
For just a
How
minute.
is it a +2?
I will flap
Dex is
my
only a
wings
2.
under
There's
the
no
bridge
stealth ability.
while carrying you.
And Jet, yes.
Giant eagles,
And
or giant eagles
Jet.
+3.
Yeah, you'll be large enough to carry both of us, I think, right?
Then yeah, it'd be giant eagle, not giant owl.
Giant owl's a +2.
Oh, okay, then giant eagle. Sorry, I thought their stealth was higher.
+4 on stealth. +4 on stealth. So technically a +6 instead of a plus. Yeah, you get.
So, giant owl
Giant
would be
owl.
the stealthy. Okay. Sorry, what?
Let's do it.
If
You've
we
got it.
die, I'm sorry.
Apology accepted.
Well, you're not
Gee,
going to.
accepted.
Sit down. And Jet will cast polymorph.
Oh.
Like, I'm assuming it just. And then I just look at myself, and then look over to you,
Pick up Ryn.
and in your head you just hear, I'm an owl.
It comes across to you as
Telepathically,
no,
telepathically,
telepathically
swak.
too.
Telepathic swak.
Does my intelligence
Oh yeah,
count
because
too?
It's reflecting.
So you can understand Common, Elven, and Sylvan.
But
You
when you
cannot speak. You only communicate in owl.
oh, is it an owl? Sorry.
Yeah, it's a giant
Yeah.
owl.
Yeah, you hear a message. You feel the wing from V, and all you hear is woo, woo,
I
woo.
yes. So pick up Ryn.
And then in your head, whoo!
Me.
And then you just kind of bounces. He bounces on one foot and holds out just a very large claw and just
Watch
I'm imagining like a three
Yeah.
talons.
yeah.
And like just basically scoops her underneath the shoulders.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
is holding her like this.
And but like
T-pose.
I'm on one foot now, and then just large head just turns back to you. Woo!
You good? Do you think you can carry me too, or want me to make it on my own?
So kind of brings large wings out and flaps a couple times, and just enough to take off and immediately falls back down, kind of balancing, and then flaps a little more confidently to try and hover, and then slowly like reaches his foot out, which by the way his feet don't have toes. He's never had toes before,
Yeah.
so you just gotta see you can see all the toes just work at once.
It's fine.
And he just picks it by the shoulder, and now what do I roll?
Well, I was gonna say, is the
Stealth check first.
is the giant eagle strong enough to pick up both Jet and
Or
Ryn?
is it an
I
owl?
would say because Ryn is a small child, yes.
Okay.
So
Stealth check first.
I don't know what the
At
owls.
advantage,
I don't
if I
know what
recall.
the.
Owl's stealth check is going to be a +6.
And it's at advantage, correct?
I'm going to rule it as a straight roll
Okay.
because
Because
this
it's
is
a giant owl.
it's a giant owl and V has never been polymorphed before. V
Or
is,
an owl. Woo!
V is struggling with a new body.
12 total.
Okay.
Including the +6? You rolled a 6?
I rolled a nat 6, yes. Well, is it just straight +6, right? There's no other, anything else on it?
Yeah.
And then, I guess I'm need athletics. They're a little drunk, aren't they, on their hippogriffs?
They are.
I hope so.
Yes.
Missed it by.
Yes.
Ooh,
Missed it by
that much.
So, we go under a bridge and around and everything, right? That's what
Yeah,
so,
and it's with the.
oh, I wanna. So, we basically take off, and, like, as we start going, because he's flapping, and then V, like, thinks about it and just stops flapping.
V.
and
Bardic
then,
inspiration.
and then immediately starts flapping, and so he's doing this.
Oh my god, I should have been the fucking giant eagle. Or the giant
He's a
owl.
little drunk.
Yeah, it's just in both of your heads, just repeatedly, whoo, 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 whoo.
You got it,
whoo.
buddy.
I'm
got
like
it, you got
roller
it.
coaster, just arms up, like.
I'm gonna.
Roller
Jet in
coaster.
freaking out is gonna throw Bardic Inspiration. Just be like, you got it, buddy. Come on. You're alright. You're alright. You're good.
So, coming around the corner where they were, just gonna, woo.
I need all of you to make a dexterity save
Hell yeah.
using the owls.
Using the owl's dex, you have a +2.
16.
10.
Not good for Jet. Below a 10.
Ren, you take 2 points of you take 2 points of damage. You take 1 point of damage from a rather rough landing.
Yeah, I drop them right at the beginning, like right at the ledge, and then as an owl, you're just gonna see feathers fly. As it just rolls and kind of stops, and then hops up on his feet again, and
Can
comfortably tucks his wing, like just kind of you just see him looking at himself.
And Polymorph drops. Because you dropped
He
it.
just-
And I
he's
took
standing
damage.
there.
You see V full like chicken pose.
I was gonna say before polymorph drops, I'll be like,
The fuck?
okay, where'd you find the bird and where's V? And then polymorph drops.
So polymorph drops, he kind of stops, and then he pulls his feet out of like his shoe, and then he moves his whole foot again because he no longer has toes.
I do like, I probably roll like 10 feet, but I'm like laughing the whole time. Like, even though I'm like probably bruised for that 1 point of damage, I am just giggle fits.
So very quietly, you just hear V go, "I like being an owl."
It was so much fun. V,
We'll do it
Jack,
again later.
Can we do it again? Can we do it again? That was so much fun.
Give me a long rest and we'll be able to.
Wait, oh, we made it.
Let
Vale, Gavin.
Yeah.
We made it.
Jet's just kind of stretching for a minute, just like, ow.
V kind of walks over to help Ren up.
Thank you.
Just quietly, you just hear, "I had toes.
Did. Let's work on your landing.
Oh.
I would very much like to.
Did you have fun?
I've never been an owl before."
You've never,
He's giddy when he says it. Like,
you've never really flown by yourself before. That was so cool.
I used my arms.
Yes, you had wings.
Oh,
The colors, Duke! The colors!
I very much enjoyed that.
I'm colorblind,
Okay,
kid.
well, we gotta convince Jet to do that to you all the time.
I agree.
That we have to travel all the time
That
like
sounds
that.
expensive.
It's only a
What did it
4th level
cost? Did it cost any material components?
No. Like 4th level spell. Like,
Yeah. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
But if there's a whole day of roleplay, V's gonna go on a nightly flight.
for an hour.
Yep.
And let's hope you land before that hour.
And Jet would want to not be held so that if he got dropped and hurt.
I kind of just, dust myself off.
You alright?
Yeah, oh no, fine. That's just fine. And I kind of look around. I go, did we make it? Are we in the Duros district?
Yes. We're in Underlook now.
Oh wait, there's a disease over here, and I'm gonna pull out like a piece of cloth and like wrap it around my face as like a sort of like makeshift filter, but it's obviously not gonna work. But
That's
just like a.
Should we try to make it to Thalamus Spirits, or should we? Well, what are we doing here? Like, what information did you get that might give us a indication of where to go?
Well, Jet's gonna look around. He's actually gonna try to check out for guards to make sure no one's obviously looking, which we'll do when God gets back. But
Any chance you should learn to talk with animals?
speak with animals.
God
so you can...
has forsaken us.
Sorry. I was refilling my tea and I took the lid off.
I don't
Speak
even know
with
if
animals
that's
should
I don't
work
even know
with
that's
someone
a
who's
spell in my
polymorph, shouldn't it?
purview.
The straw landed in a thing of butter.
It's
I
a,
think
it's
about
a,
It's
a
it's
ritual
his.
cast.
It's one of his. It's a bard, druid, or ranger.
but it's also a ritual cast.
Bard, druid, or
Can
ranger.
sorcerers not learn ritual casting? If you take that feat.
Yeah, you can take the feat. That
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, we paid for it already.
What's that?
The feat. I assume that's what you're learning.
That is, yeah, what you're supposed to be learning. with that
I'm
college.
I'm learning how to cast a very specific ritual, which is fine for them.
But potentially, if you learn how to cast that ritual, maybe eventually you
That
could
opens
learn
up
other.
It
ritual
could.
spells.
Potentially
that you can
is
learn
my
that
thought.
spell.
True.
part of the reason
Depends
Jet was-
on how God will dictate my Saturday school session.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'll be getting like a book to keep the ritual spell in.
Oh, find shit. So from here, it looked like that said Fred sex. I was like,
Yes, this is my Fred sex app. I can have sex with any Fred in a 20-mile radius.
No.
God,
nice.
Here I come. Hold on.
as a quick question, was there any feature related to Hester on my owl? 'Cause, I mean,
Haster's just looking at you in
Haster's
just looking at you in disappointment at this
He
point.
kind of branded me, so I didn't know if that would come through.
Who?
The short time that you were an owl,
Yeah. No.
none that anybody can notice.
I imagine that he would have kind of had the book in his mouth without anybody realizing.
Well,
Master?
part of polymorph.
My
Everything
nature.
molds into you.
Part of polymorph is everything molds into you.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's why you keep all of your armor and your gear and everything,
Gotcha.
and then when you come out of polymorph, you return to your form.
Okay, that's fair.
So Rin was asking where we were going. Jet was going to take a quick look around to make sure no guards had started to take, a minute and go, huh, there was a giant owl that just fucking flew over here. That's a 19.
From a quick glance around, doesn't seem that anyone's paying attention to you.
Cool. So, we can definitely check into Thelana's spirits. Or, sounds like potentially the sickness is coming from further below. With that, don't know if you probably haven't heard of them, but Kevin, you're familiar with them, I'm sure, and Vale, you might be familiar with them. The Reavers, right? You said it was?
Ravers.
Ravers, sorry.
Ravers.
You have to,
Yes.
Can I roll a history check, see if I know about them?
I would say same. Can I?
Wait, what is it?
History, not my strong suit, bud.
Because
I have never heard anyone even put these syllables together in their ever.
would my docent know anything?
can
depending
can
on
we
the
please
age
check
of
in
them?
with Leolyn?
Dirty
I feel so
20.
much better if I knew she was safe. And
Dirty
of
20.
course, Gay.
17 plus 3.
What's his name? What's your dad's name?
Yovalor.
How do you oh man,
Hang on.
I was so
I
tired
gotta
when I
pull it up
wrote
again.
that.
I have to remember how you spell it. Hang on.
Yelvalor.
Yeah.
how do you spell that?
Y-E-L-V-A-L-O-R.
Oh, okay. I literally.
I'm sorry, Y-E-L
V-A-L-O-R.
V-A-L Yay, Valor. Yes, I would feel so much better if I knew that they were safe before we descend any further.
For you, Ravers. Not much more than what I spoke about earlier. Sorry. Widely, people know that they exist, but how they came to exist is unknown. Prevailing rumor and theory amongst the local residents of Lower Dora is that they are descendants of those that died when the towers fell. There's other minor conspiracy theories, some fringe I guess you could call them like Vianons. Think that like House Vidalis is doing experiments to create like a new breed of super creature or super soldier, and the Ravers are the failed experiments. But beyond that, I mean, it's sort of the same rumors that everybody knows. They're feral savage creatures that you're bound to encounter if you go into the District of Fallen. But for the most part, they tend to stay within their walls.
I'm gonna see Vale, who's covered his face. It was more of a protective measure.
By the way, I did that while you were in the other room.
Mimic that. Well, if we're trying to blend in with a quarantine district, might as well make it look authentic, right? I'm gonna tie one of my piece of cloth or something that I have on me around my face. How do I look?
It works. Looks good. Jet's gonna do the same.
Chin diapers.
Yep, Jet's gonna do the same.
I don't think you need to worry about it.
Nice.
V
Yep.
shook his head and just
Basically
goes,
always.
maybe
Oh,
when I
okay.
was an owl.
Maybe.
Not anymore.
How far are we from the Lannister spirits?
Jet would know the rough direction and everything like that, right? Rough distance. He's used this route before. So
Can we
far,
go,
not far.
Can we go and visit?
Not too far. I mean, having to navigate through back alleys and like some hidden staircases and things like that, you're probably looking at maybe less than a half hour.
Can we go and visit before we do anything else?
Works for me. I would also feel better knowing that they're okay.
No, just say basically when Kevin goes into stealth, he's gonna pull his hood up, pull mask over his face, and that's basically gonna be
Oh, okay.
any time of stealth.
Gotcha. Makes
At least
sense.
that's how I've always imagined
I
it.
think we should,
Makes sense.
We should all try to be a little bit sneak. We don't really know what guard patrols are, around.
Works for me. Everyone else?
Sounds good.
We ready?
Let's do this.
Alright.
So let me try it.
Moving quiet, just trying not to draw attention to ourselves.
So do we
Then
have to
I
roll
would like
stealth?
everybody roll a stealth check,
That's what I
please.
22.
Oh my god, 19.
106.
Rogues.
Actually, not as great as I was hoping. 16.
What the fuck?
Somehow I'm stealthier than a little rogue.
I rolled a 5.
24?
22.
Kevin's
24.
nervous. He's
Okay. Yeah.
he's trying to show off in front of Jet. So.
It's funny you're trying to show off and you got the lowest roll.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You're sort of like trying to get out in the lead and take in the role.
guys.
But there's one point where
Trips
you
over the
actually
track.
start to you're about to emerge out onto one of the actual main courtyard where Thelana's Spirits is, where the mayor had his speech the other day, and you're just about to step out and you're about to take that step, and Jet just reaches out and grabs you by the collar and pulls you back into the shadows as a patrol of 3 Hippogriff City Watch pass right overhead.
Gryffindors.
And he sort of grabs you and pulls you back,
There's no doors.
and you wait a second,
Just the griffins.
and then the coast is clear, and you begin to cross the courtyard towards the Lana Spirits. Which, the Lana Spirits at the moment is,
We said hippogriff, that's not a griffin.
it's not
Let's break that up.
Harry Potter.
It's not
Yeah,
boarded
so
up
we-
and closed down by any means, but it is turned down from its normal, like
God damn it, I knew what was
Noise
going
I
on.
was just about to say
lively
something
and
for what?
welcoming atmosphere to more of a
Are there even patrons in there?
can't tell from outside.
Oh, okay.
It's valid.
But for the most part, the city streets are empty. There is just that general sense of silence that hangs over the district.
I don't like this.
It's like you look up and
No, me
down the
neither.
streets from your perspective in the alley, and you look up and down, and they're all of the houses and homes. The windows are shuttered. Doors are closed. There's no lights. There's nobody on the streets. You see the occasional, like, from your perspective, you watch as, like, there's like a pack of rats that runs from one alleyway to another. Further down the street, you see another pack come out of a sewer and scuttle across the street and down into another sewer grate.
I'm just gonna do the cat click thing. No, I'm just kidding.
And we lost Jet.
But yeah, for the most part, the district is shut down.
This place was so full of life.
Yeah, I don't like this.
And the front doors of Thelana Spirits are closed, which you're used to them sort of being propped open, but they are closing.
Once we get there, Jet's gonna try to open the door. Let's see
Like
if
you
it,
push on the door and the door opens right up.
and then he'll have everyone come inside.
As soon as I walk in, I'm just gonna go, Leylin?
You walk in and the tavern itself is empty. It's quiet. There is a small fire in the fireplace. What was that large hearth that had damn near a bonfire in it is at the moment just a smaller, turned down campfire. You don't see anybody in the initial common room.
I don't like this, Jet.
Which Jet's.
I don't like the music either. That's just fucking.
It sounds like we're about to open up the Jumanji board.
What year is
Oh,
it?
sorry.
Welcome to Sparta.
What?
I'm very confused now.
Roll initiative.
Oh god. Seeing no one in there, not being greeted by anybody, Jet's immediately gonna start heading towards like the family area to try to see if he can locate.
You make your way down there, and you do encounter all three of them, Yalvalor, Oriel, and Leolin. All three of them in their like family common area, where like Leolin has her own quarters, and then Yalvalor and Oriel have their bedroom, and then there's like a central common area, and you sort of like come down the stairs looking around, and you see them all gathered around a table just. I mean, it looks like they're having conversation. There's like a deck of cards that's been scattered on the table. You can see drinks. Looks like they're just sort of whiling away the time.
Jet kind of breathes that sigh of relief, like, I've seen them. They're at least okay at the moment.
I'm sorry, did we not just fucking call out to you guys? You guys just ignored us?
Well, it's on a separate level.
Yeah, down
Just
below.
need to-
Yeah.
Rin would be close on your heels, and she would see that, and she'd cry out in relief, and rush down to greet them.
Yeah.
Maybe unceremoniously kind of give Leylin a big hug.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, you're alright. You're safe. Good.
Oh, yeah.
Did we learn anything, Stacy?
How did you get past the blockade?
Oh,
We didn't
Jet-
expect to see you.
Jet turned V into a big owl, and he carried us over.
And
you see like 3 sets of eyes fall on you. Like, you what?
I've learned some magic. We'll put it that way. I'm just glad to see you all okay.
We're fine, although not doing much of anything.
This all just happened while we were gone.
Yes, you all left for your friend's fight, and about an hour later, the city watch came through and told all of us to shut down business, sent everybody home,
That's
told
awful.
us to stay inside of our homes, said something about illness, sickness. They were trying to contain the spread.
Hashtag contain the spread.
Here we are.
Hashtag flatten the curve.
It was passed down by Minister Fauci.
Oh god.
Your friend Gunther, he's not with you. How'd the fight go?
Unfortunately, he didn't win his fight.
He lost.
It's unfortunate.
Hopefully you didn't put any money down.
We've made a habit of not placing bets.
Lucky you.
Well, that's unfortunate to hear. Why did you come back? If the district's under quarantine, typically that would tell most people to stay away.
You know, sound very fucking great.
Sorry.
We were worried about you. We wanted to check in, but we also think we might know the source of this plague, and we're going to go investigate and hopefully put a stop to it.
Seems like you know more than the City Watch.
Or at least we're willing
You
to do
seem
more.
surprised by that.
At least we're willing to do more about it.
Fair enough. Is there anything we can assist with?
Drinks? Or wait, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Old habit.
And you immediately, like, Oriel, the older lady, sort of chuckles a little bit and stands up and walks off to, like, a little kitchenette off to the side and pulls a couple more tankards out of the cabinets.
I guess I was only half kidding.
Begins to pour drinks.
You were kidding at all. It's fine.
I was so worried that something had happened to you guys. I begged Jack to check in on you before we descended into the further levels.
Nothing would happen to us. Anything that happens to us happens to the whole district.
I didn't know it. I just wanted to I couldn't do anything else without wanting to know if you guys were safe.
We're fine. We're taking some, although unexpected, some probably much needed downtime.
Fair enough.
We'll stay down here. We'll avoid the sickness. We'll let it pass over.
Some lamb's blood on the doorway.
Wait,
Much.
What's so wrong with Disney World? This is great. We can stay here forever.
What?
Oh wait, that's right.
I'm sorry. Reference?
Family Guy.
Oh yeah.
When they're jumping from animation style to animation style.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it is.
We can stay here forever.
I just remember when Walt Disney gets thought out, like, are the Jews gone yet?
What was that from?
That was Family Guy. It was like, when,
Oh, they unfreeze it.
They unfreeze
yeah,
Walt
it is
Disney.
like, put me back in.
God damn it, Seth. Like,
It's okay. We can make these kind of jokes.
We've
We
got
have
one
one.
at the table.
We have one. We don't own
It's
him.
okay,
We have
guys.
one.
We have Jewish friends.
I'm blinking help in Morse code.
It's fine. It's fine. He only uses my shower sometimes.
If you're gonna blink, or God, never mind. I fucked that up.
If you're gonna spew into this, is what you just made me think of.
No, I was gonna say the last mission I did in Mass Effect before coming here, there was an AI that used binary to signal for help.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was well, never mind.
That's a rabbit
Stay
hole.
very
That's a rabbit hole. We don't want to go down.
Yep.
Do you know what I was about to say?
Yeah.
I know it comes back in 3. I was told it did.
If they're all safe, then perhaps we should continue on down. Do you know where to go?
I have an idea. Has Jet ever been there?
To where?
Lower district.
The lower district, the Fallen.
No.
Okay. I've not been there myself though, so of course that.
Was it around when my docent was created?
Yeah, I mean it's been
So
there
I
since
know
the
this.
early days of the war.
I know the I know the area, but I don't know what's actually in the area. Then.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
everybody knows of the district. Everybody
No,
knows.
no,
Of
We know where the
I
district's
I
located.
have
We
an
just
internal
don't know
map,
what's
I just
inside
don't
of
know
said
what
district.
building's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like everybody knows Martinsville exists. Nobody goes there.
That's right.
That's
Valid.
yeah.
We
It's a
found
horse
this.
farm and a lot of streets. No,
Don't go there after dark.
no, we're safe. We're
We'd
white.
be okay. Yeah. I'm getting racist.
Let me just bring my shekels.
Did you went and talked to the people in your group? They're the ones that told you about it, but did they have any information for you about like what we should expect there, or
Well, the Ravers.
The Rivas.
Ravers?
Ravers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who are they?
Well, it's a little bit hard to explain. I don't think their origins are really known, but
I've heard they're basically like failed super soldier experiments.
Is that what Jet's heard about them? Is that a theory that he's heard, or is he more on the line of
like it's
like that's one of those fringe theories that you hear someone spewing over like their 7th tankard.
So not one that he necessarily believes.
Not one you give a lot of credit to.
Yeah. More so that they were the people there, right, or the descendants of the people there.
That's the prevailing theory.
So they're dangerous, so we should probably avoid them.
They
I would recommend it.
certainly are dangerous, but the super soldier one, descendants of people who were there is what I've heard.
Well, okay, so let's say we go down to this district. Are we looking for something specific? Are we going to maybe ask one of them for information? Should we maybe orchestrate a questioning? Perhaps they know something about what's happening in their own district. Stands to reason.
Has Jet ever heard of anyone talking to one? Or are they beyond humanity? Like their humanity, they lost.
Are
that
they
at
are
this
they
point?
Firefly Reavers?
It's
Are we a leaf on the wind?
no, you
I
haven't heard,
was.
you haven't heard.
Not from the
It's
theory.
very much they're considered feral savages.
It's been what, 12 years?
Too soon.
There's one person that's known to live in Fallen, and that
12 years,
is
15 years?
the lady that maintains
20 years?
17.
the ruins
Jesus Christ.
of
I
the
feel old.
Church of the Silver Flame.
That was 2005.
And she
This series is
she
19
is basically
years
the one person that they have tried to kick her out, and they tried to be like, it's not safe for you here, and she is the last person remaining, and she just tends to the flame
That's
in that district.
if Jet relates all that, then Rynny would say, well, then that's where we should go. Is the old ruins of the church to ask her.
Yes,
If anyone
we
knows.
should totally trust the Church of the Silver Flame because they're great, aren't they?
You said that out loud, right?
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
Just a second.
I know you have
Just making sure.
I know you have ill regards, but if this individual has information that could help the entire district, doesn't that warrant asking her help? I know you're mistrustful, and rightfully so, of the church,
The history professor likes the dragon statue.
but if she can help Duros, if she can help Thalana Spirits and Leolin, isn't that worth something?
That's if she's willing to talk to someone like me.
Maybe she can talk to someone else.
I will talk to her.
Maybe she could talk to me. No offense.
Okay.
I'm saying you don't have to directly talk to her about it, but if she's willing, if she has information that could help everyone, I know the Silver Flame hurt you, but this is hurting so many more people, and it's worth a try, isn't it?
I don't want anything to do with them, to be honest.
Then let me talk to her. The Silver Flame has, well, they've done nothing directly to me, so let me try to at least get the information we need to put a stop to all this.
It's also big if she knows anything. But that's the only person that lives there. That I know of, at least.
So get us there, and, let us try. It's the only lead we have, otherwise we're just going to be roaming around the Under District, and that sounds very dangerous.
Again, considering that I've not heard of anyone talking to one of the Raiders.
So we should talk to who?
Possibly the lady that maintains the ruins of the Church of the Silver Flame down in the Fallen. I'm not particularly a fan of doing that.
Why would they not want to talk to you? I like talking to you.
I think it's more of a he doesn't like talking to them.
Oh no, I'm pretty certain they would not want to talk to me. I am a shifter, therefore I'm a half-breed, therefore I'm not worth shit.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it.
Glare.
Damn. I thought you liked me. Misconstrued this whole thing. Only took you in under my wing, you know.
I don't know.
Grounded.
He does you see him.
It's one of the only leads I think we have. And you're always telling me to follow the leads.
Unfortunately, you're right.
It doesn't make her our ally, but it does make her helpful.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Exactly. And you don't have to talk to her. You can let me talk to her. Who could refuse this face?
If it'll make you feel any
No.
better, I can go in with.
Oh, I'll go. I'll just not be this.
What will you be?
Probably standard human, maybe. I don't know.
I would always recommend an owl.
I cannot do that again for a good while. But I will let you be an owl when we have more time.
Thank you.
And when
I think you really liked it.
Seems like it. Also, you really seem to enjoy being carried around.
Oh,
by
that
giant owl.
was so much fun. That was honestly much better than an airship.
I agree. We didn't run into
Ghosts,
ghosts
islands.
Islands, yes.
Yeah, that's 2 for 2.
We have had a very bad record on airships, haven't we?
That's why I think out of Sean, once we leave, we take
No
the
airships.
rail. There's only been one bad instance on the lightning rail, and
that's the only time we were all on a lightning rail together.
yeah. There you go.
I have never been on a lightning rail.
We should do that with you.
Oh, yeah. You've not been all the way up.
You and Gavin.
Oh.
We're gonna take you on a
I've
lightning
been
rail
out
adventure. Like what do you think it's gonna get hijacked twice?
That would be our luck.
As the DM reaches for notes.
Oh, God. Do I know where the or kind of an idea of where they say that the ruins of that church are?
Just somewhere within the district.
Would it really be hard to find though? It's a church. Or
It's the ruins, yeah.
So before it was fallen, it was God's Gate, and it was a temple district. So almost all of the ruins are religious
Temples.
buildings of some kind.
Yep.
So it's finding a needle in a stack of needles.
Fortunately, we have an investigator.
Hey-oh!
I mean, you've got temples to the Son of Flame, you've got temples to the Sovereign Host, you've got temples to the Undying Court. There might even be a temple to Blood. I mean, there's
Blood for the book.
Blood for the blood god!
skulls for the skull throne.
If you know the best way to
What is that?
descend into the lower
Warhammer.
districts, of course, follow your lead and
They also made references to it in Gamer's Life.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
I think that's the best lead we've got to go on in order to figure out what's going on. Stop this with assaults, right?
That's kind of my thought. That's our best lead, and trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Do we think that they started this pandemic?
Is it Panorama?
I mean, potentially it's the best lead I have.
Is it Panini?
I've heard that,
Pandemic.
people are to avoid.
Camilla?
I've heard people are to
Pino.
avoid the Ravens.
Is Panorama?
Specifically people in the lower districts. That's dangerous, and I mean, possibly they're spreading.
Okay.
I mean, we also had the theory that it was something to do with the water leaking down from, of course, the higher districts. However, it seems to be starting at the bottom, going up.
Which means it's only going to get worse if we don't do something about it.
So why don't
Right.
we go down far enough where it's not?
Which
what-
would be the following.
We try to
Let's
find
start
it.
there.
We try to find it at source, and if we can do that, then we can cleanse the whole district area.
How do you know we can even cleanse it?
We have to try.
Why?
People are dying.
Okay. A little indifferent since, there were a shitload of people that don't like me.
Kevin. Oh, sorry, again.
I was gonna say we might be able to make a difference. That means we at least have to try.
Any connections to the Boromir clan that you have? Possibly we could find a guide.
Connections for you? No. You know of the Boromars. I mean, in your line of work. I mean, realistically, the Boromars are like the Mafia.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about them.
But you don't really know them.
You don't really know them.
Okay.
So,
God,
you don't really have connections with them.
Okay. No, unfortunately not. I've never seen him around ever,
Right.
You would probably. So you're trying to get into one of the lowest districts.
Right.
You're trying to get into Lower Dura, a district in Lower Dura.
Right.
There's always the airborne approach, like mentioned earlier.
Right.
Where basically, hitch a ride and sort of free fall your way. Pop a landing token, pop a featherfall token, and soft landing. There's obviously the whole of Lower Dura is basically blocked off. The whole thing's been quarantined except for that red light district. You can always try to do what you just did, getting into Underlook. You can try to find a route, but you also know that a lot of the criminal syndicates use the sewers at the very bottom of all the towers as a way to get around
Right.
Smelly route.
and get to certain places.
Does Jet know of anyone in the red light district that would know a way down?
Well, red light district is down.
Yes, it is. It's the only lower district that hasn't been quarantined yet, because the city watch just doesn't want to even try it.
Is it accessible?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, if he can get there and then potentially we can go down from there.
Yes. I mean, everybody knows the way in and out of that district.
Right.
Some
Katie.
are, some definitely know the way. Others know the way, but don't
Sometimes you gotta use the back.
Stress it.
Sometimes you gotta use the back door.
Crazy?
Purposeful.
So, I mean, there's probably someone down there, someone that you've had connection with that could potentially. There's a couple names that come up. Some of them are good at, some of them are smugglers. Some of them are bounty hunters.
Smuggle people. Yes. Further down.
There's smugglers, there's bounty hunters, there's mercenaries that you've had connection with, but yeah, it just depends on where you'd like to go.
If we're looking for a guide, then if you're relaying this all out loud, then perhaps the red light district is the best place to start and see if we can find ourselves someone who can direct us to this Temple of the Silver Flame where this caretaker resides, rather than venturing out on our own and just kind of.
Anybody think it's weird that the child is trying to get us to go to the red light district?
Well, that's why I'm not sure if Jet would have relayed the red light district idea out loud.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't think he would have relayed that out loud
That's
just
dumb.
because his thought is, okay, if we get to the red light district, potentially can find someone that can lead us further down. The
In my
safest
mind,
way.
I just imagine it's a district that's just laid out in red.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not something
with like
that you know of.
Did you believe in life after love after love after love?
I can
Feel the stop stand. It don't think it's strong enough. No.
I walk away and I come back to y'all singing karaoke.
Yep.
Basically,
Well,
Ryn
we're in a bar passing time, right?
Ryn doesn't know what the red light district is, so
Yeah.
So she's all about going there to find a guide to lead us to the Silver Flame Temple, but she doesn't understand exactly what the red light district is.
Yeah, for clarification, I don't think Jet would have said it out loud because his thought process is I'm just trying to figure out if he knows of a safe, like the safest way down
of
to the
all
Fallen.
the places, the red light district probably has a couple different entrances to the sewer system
And that's
that are more
Accessible.
Yeah, are probably more frequented.
Gross.
Much like their sewer systems.
which could be good or bad, I guess.
You really gotta
He's wanting anal.
Really gotta-
we might make enough and get you that nice hat for church on Sunday.
Really gotta just lube your way in. Grease a few hands, you know what I'm saying?
Go grease lightning, it's a real pussy wagon. Actual line in the song.
That's,
Yep,
I remember that.
it is.
I
In
sang
a
that
PG movie.
sang that in middle school.
Hey, Dad, what's a pussy wagon?
Ask your mom.
Nah.
Oh no!
95 Taurus. Get a new Taurus from Pinkley Ford. Because it's a new Pinkley Taurus.
Fuck.
Love Brother sketch.
Well,
What shall we do?
With the drunken sailor?
What should we do with the
great song.
Obviously
But-
shave him with a rusty razor.
Or throw him in the hold with the captain's daughter. I mean, that's always a fun one.
Yeah, but have you
Is she
seen
mean?
Captain's daughter?
Why is she mean?
Shit. Ignore that. Shit. No. We need a guide. And the best place to do that would probably be in the red light district, which I'm not really a fan of taking you two there.
This makes sense. Why?
He's like,
Oh, wait, yeah.
I think halfling, like,
I take it. How old are you roughly?
14,
yeah,
And halfling adult age is roughly
20.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You're fine.
So,
I
But-
can handle myself.
My buddy.
You can handle yourself. We don't want to take you to a whorehouse.
Well, then I say, let's go. I mean, I know you're uncomfortable with me going to a red light district. I know red isn't my color, but I think we should still go.
I mean,
You should be on the street making some goddamn money.
just kind of, just that moment of, I don't know how to explain the red light district to it.
Token, here's 20
To a
bucks. If
kid.
Stan comes near me, punch him in the face.
to be brutally honest, for the purposes that we're using, I really don't think you have to explain much of anything. I think.
Have you seen what's in the red light district? You're gonna have to explain a few things.
V just goes, no.
Okay. Yeah. No, like I was assuming somebody of me would have been to the red light district, but I mean I mean
You're like what's so bad?
Oh, right.
Oh,
You're probably the reason for the quarantine in the red light
that's
district.
right.
well no, but I mean like
This is not your typical red light district.
yeah.
It's
let's
Sean.
And it's the lower districts.
Oh, so it's a day shift, basically.
Dude, I'm getting flashbacks to the scene with Lynn Shay from Kingpin,
Yeah.
the bowling movie, where
I
she has.
literally watched
Woody
him
Harrelson?
cut horse's legs off and was like, I'm out.
Oh God, with the getting rid of the horseshoes. Ugh.
So is that the plan to go to the red light district?
Is it?
Yeah. How about this? How difficult would it be for you and me to go to the red light district? We can find a guide, bring them back here, and then go from there, as opposed to.
I think that would be better than taking them there.
You guys can sit here and play card games.
I mean, okay, if you guys think that's the best route. Although it seems like there's a lot of unnecessary travel. You guys have to go all the way down and then come back up. And then we go
trust
back,
me, we're not going
down
while we're down there.
That's the only way to go down.
Jet literally just shoots that like.
It goes right over the head, and there's if looks could
Yeah.
kill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
If
No.
looks could kill, you'd be rolling a new character.
Oh yeah.
You have to go down. That's the whole reason, right?
Yes, to get to the lower districts.
It's your
And
force.
Jet's just the whole time just death glare.
You think back to a brothel that's right off of the elevator into the red light district. That's literally called going down.
Are you concerned about, like, is there a bad smell?
It's not so much the
Oh my
smell.
you.
There's multiple.
V would like to go down.
It's more about what I'm going to be picking out of my teeth. Wait, should we be heading out soon?
Teeth, you have to eat your way through something?
Jet's just
We'll
like,
return.
yeah, just starting to turn red, just be like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
I'm
The
taking my
whole
own
time.
grave. Let's go.
I'll take a short rest.
Should you come with me? Maybe I should just go.
To be brutally honest, I think we've already proven you talk, I read.
I can fly.
Well, you can't fly in that form.
You can fly, you can fly, you can
But
fly.
I can
you
still
can
come
fly,
along.
you can fly. But what I'm saying is, like, you can talk to the people, I can read them.
Right, make sure they're not
Right.
lying.
So we can make sure that we can find somebody that will actually be at least somewhat trustworthy.
I can also not get sick, so I can talk to people.
Not getting sick's benefit. I was gonna say, unfortunately, you and I can.
Right, well, just, okay. Take V for backup, but
Just take some extra
if you
penicillin.
need Gavin and I to stay here, we can hang out and I'm sure Leah Lynn and the others wouldn't mind an extra set of company. Just do what you need to do, find the guy.
I mean, I can see you guys have been playing cards. You've been playing poker.
It's
I'll pull out my 3 Dragon 80 set.
it's literally at that moment that Jet remembers we've been having this whole conversation with everyone talking about the red light district, and it's like
they're just flies on the wall, just observing.
You look
But
over and one of them
I
just
will also say this entire time I've been cool with this because they have history with you, right? So you know that they're trustworthy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
But Jet's
You
also
look
still
o-
like,
you look over and
we're talking
Yellow
about the
One's
red light
just, like,
district
sipping
in
from
front
standard.
of.
yeah, I'm like nice and cold.
I'm not saying I'm going to spend money down there. I'm just saying we need to go down there and find a way down.
Right.
You talk to people, I read them. We get somebody as trustworthy as we can possibly find. Bring them back here, regroup, go from there.
You tell me what to say and I will talk to people.
Or not.
I cannot get sick.
Jet actually just kind of smirks a little bit, thinking about the fact that,
Yo, bitches, I got
What-
17 charisma. Don't act like I ain't no charismatic.
oh no, I know, Jet's just thinking about a warforged though, talking to potentially a prostitute for the first time.
I want that to happen now.
I know.
If you unlock the door, I'll let you put it in my asshole.
I'll be right back.
It's the best part of that entire fucking movie.
Just rewatched that like a week
Such a
ago.
great film.
Oh my god. Out of character, generally not a fan of splitting the party. However, Jet as a character has the concern of
No,
taking 2 children.
this is a whorehouse.
This is what they do here.
This is a special.
Let me rephrase.
Special
This is a
employee.
whore district. It's more than un house.
Huh? I would like to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know you want to go. Of course, you want to go. I feel
Of
bad
course I
though
wanna
leaving
go.
both of you behind. Player
Play cards.
wise. So, you guys good with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Do what you need to do. I don't care.
Right.
I didn't care.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in
Anything I
character.
can give Ryn to help protect her? I don't think I have anything on me. Do you have something on me?
Leland, are you alright watching these two for a little bit?
Oh, are you tapping? Sounded like one of the cats.
Oh no, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my foot.
Sounds like a cat yakking.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Pretty much. I was immediately like, God damn it, right now, really.
Underneath the table.
Yeah, we can watch them. We can watch them.
V's gonna walk over and just.
We'll take care of them. It's not like they can go anywhere.
Gonna
See, you
quietly-
say that.
V's gonna walk over and just say,
Challenge accepted.
"Be safe," and then he's gonna give you his healing drop that he had gotten earlier, the Jurassic healing drop.
Well, thank you, V. I appreciate that. Although I don't know if I need this more than you do, but I will take care of it until you get back.
I'm gonna remove it from my. Actually, I'm just gonna make it 0 charges.
What is?
The Jurassic healing drop.
Okay.
So it stays in my inventory. I just made it 0 charges. I'm
Okay.
giving it to her for.
Yep.
Make sure you mark that down as the Jurassic healing drought.
That's literally what I spelled it.
Okay.
for
Jurassic healing
safekeeping and
drought
make sure she
version
gets her
4.2.
Safe journey. Come back quickly and take care of everyone.
Will do. You keep an eye on that one, yeah, will you?
Oh, I'm in charge. Just make sure you put.
Oh
me,
yeah, there's no way you put me in
Put
charge.
me in charge.
That's a fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, I
I
asked her
just
to
want
watch
to make
you.
sure we know the hierarchy here.
You
So
wander
I'm,
off.
I'm above him.
You wander off, you know this.
Phrasing?
We're gonna leave.
Hell, I'm not
Ryn's
star.
gonna walk
Sure, I'm
out.
not going to.
I'm the boss.
Yeah,
Go give
I-
me a drink.
Juice.
Wake
on
up,
the
bitch!
rocks.
You're my new best friend.
Jet put me in charge?
Pretty much. So you leave the two young ones
That's
with
actually really cool. Oh, just-
the proprietors of Thelon Spirits, and the three of you begin to make your way back up to the common room. And as you're getting ready to emerge out onto the street, Yelvalor comes up behind you and is like, "Don't go out the front." And he walks you back towards the kitchen, out towards the back door, which will lead you onto a back alleyway. And as he's sort of unlocking the door, he goes, I don't like to talk to this around the ladies. We sometimes acquire spirits through not so legal means. If you're looking for contacts down there, there's 2 places.
Alright.
The Silver Sheets Brothel. Proprietor. She has connections. She has ways to get people in and out of the city without the watch knowing.
And her name would be...
Oh, you just have to ask for the proprietor.
But I mean, like, wouldn't it be better if we knew her by name so we can address her?
It's the proprietor.
I mean, I don't want to just walk in and be like, "Hey, Miss Proprietor."
You,
She doesn't have a name.
That's, yeah,
Who's valid?
good point.
She is the proprietor.
Ayo.
Welcome back. How was the skates?
Hello.
It was, moving on wheels.
Oh my god, what?
I went very fast.
Oh my god, on
People
wheels.
skating backwards, getting pissed off at people going slow.
No.
Oh,
They were
okay.
not that bad.
There we go.
The other is someone that you're going to have more luck with your friend V here. There is a wild tiger loose in the streets.
Oh my god, a giant animal in the sky.
Roll initiative.
Polymorph.
Oh no, my mini!
I think I ate an arm.
I know what that's
Thank you.
from.
Yeah.
What is that from?
It's
Gamers.
Darkest Rising.
Oh, that's
When the cat jumps on the table and destroys all the minis.
Oh, my mini.
I'll eat it cheap.
Dude,
I could do that.
Tali
There's
had
an
an itch
door
the
here.
other day, and I started scratching her itch for her as she was
Something
scratching, and she just
away.
stared at me like,
Wait,
"How
wait,
did
you're
you
like that.
know?"
Violently shaken.
Me?
Uh,
I could talk to someone. He says, like,
You're-
valuably at
You're,
Jet.
you're going to need your friend. There's a bar hidden down a few alleyways called the Titan Forge. They don't let you in unless you have a Warforged with you. There are people there that excel in subverting the law. They could probably help you get where you're trying to go.
Anyone specific then?
Just ask. Not many of them there are above board.
What?
Above board.
Thank you, Yellow.
Of course. Be safe.
You as well.
B puffs out his chest. I will be useful.
If you start to experience any symptoms, don't come back here. Go get tested first.
I was gonna say that we'll maintain a 6 feet.
You're not allowed back in without a negative test result. Or a 5-day quarantine. Whichever comes first.
I heard it used to be 2 weeks.
Hey, you're good with the Forger's kit, right? You can just.
I can get us papers.
I just joined.
I heard about a burning meat log who said
I got friends of mine that were at Lollapalooza. All we have to do is pay 25 gold apiece.
We joined a different political party.
So, as Yellow opens the door to the back alley, you all emerge out into the relative silence of the district. The door shuts and locks behind you, and you sort of gather yourselves before deciding on which route to head out. I'm going to pull the session to an early close tonight, because that's about where my prep ends.
Go.
And going into the next stage, I want to be more prepared.
That's fair.
So,
I'm 100,000% down for that.
And there's a new GPO that needs tested.
that's all. Yes, that's where we'll stop for tonight, guys.
Oh, dude, just wait till you open up
Fantastic.
Gods of War with that.
Nonsense.
I want to get back.
Type it up on paper.
I picked it up because I had a
Basically, keep my
coupon.
mind busy so that I can
I know.
actually, like,
I'm hoping we get a
I
cash check
can
soon.
basically only play D&D
Oh,
when
we
I
have to
go
wait.
IRS is delayed.
I know what you
IRS is backed up. Like
No,
it's
they are.
the IRS has sent out
It
notifications
basically hit a
saying
point
we
where
are
we were all
backlogged.
playing games one night. What were we playing? Destiny?
It's gonna take longer to get checks
Mhm,
in.
probably.
It was Destiny.
Yep, they're hiring
And we
a
all
shit
kept
ton of
like
attorneys
wiping on
too.
this raid, and like we could not get it, and I kept failing.
We haven't even-
Everybody
like, I
was
just
like,
got
"Joe,
my
are you like
W2
watching
from
TV also?" And I was
Davidson.
like, "No, I'm just playing the
So,
game."
like,
They're like, "Turn on the
I have
TV."
to file
Turn
it.
on the TV. Started watching Simpsons. Cleared the
She's
next
got
day.
all
We have
her-
to see. We have
I
to.
don't
Yep,
know
that
why.
was
I
one
have
of them
something
said Destiny.
else that I'm
Streaming?
doing.
That was
Are
one
we
of
still
them said
streaming?
Destiny. Hold on one second.